one of us. Google gobble, one of us. Google gobble, one of us. Google gobble, one of us. Yeah!
I'm all for it.
It's been a long time.
Is that offensive, though?
I don't know.
Well, we have to talk about that. We have to talk about that because this brings up Martin Scorsese being a cinephile and the fact that that is a reference to another movie in The Wolf of Wall Street.
Here's the thing.
The Google Gobble one of us.
If you associate Google Gobble with any given race, you're the racist. Because I can't think of
Not
anything.
a race.
No.
Type of person.
It's about freaks.
Freaks.
It's about freaks.
Like,
Hold on. Get off
people-
this track.
Like people who
Get off this track. This
Like-
isn't good.
like
Circus
sexy
freaks.
people?
No, like circus freaks.
Like freaks in the sheets?
like American Horror Story Freak Show. If I have to go to Ryan Murphy, that's sad.
Hey man, if a lady looks at me and says Google Gobble, one of us, it's on.
Hello. Hello. I'm cutting this. I'm Frank.
I'm Jesse.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Jordan.
Yeah, that's right.
This is the Chronic Canon. We got a guest today. His
We got
name
a
was
fucking
Jordan.
fourth.
We just talked about
We got
Jordan
a
on the
four
last
stack on the
episode.
pod.
We did?
We did.
With
He's
what?
mentioned in the Hugo episode.
You did mention that. I don't
Yeah.
remember what you said though.
Well, we were
Yeah, what'd you
talking
say?
Sexy
just
bees,
before the
sounds-
recording. Just before the recording of Hugo, Jordan and I had been together, and we were talking about Sassy in depth, and that was when I knew I was like, he's going to have to be on the podcast.
Yes.
I mean, he was already a fan. Jordan, you should be speaking for yourself, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to pass the mic over
Wait.
to Jordan.
Should we introduce stuff first?
Yeah, well,
We haven't done this in a while. We're a little rusty.
a long
A little?
time. I mean, we'll get to it. We'll get to that. But this is the
we're doing
Chronic
it?
Canon, where we smoke movies and we talk weed.
We're live in our ears, but not in yours.
And if you don't like heat, you gotta get out.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
That is
if you've
correct.
never seen it, that's
That's okay.
chill.
That's
chill.
fine.
But if you actively dislike it, you gotta go.
You gotta get the fuck out.
It's for your own benefit.
As a fan of the show, at what point are you going to tell people that they have to have seen it? Because you keep giving people the easy way out.
That's actually fair.
No.
That's actually-
Because here's the thing. As a guy who gets recommended a movie and doesn't immediately fucking watch it, I sympathize for the people. You know, maybe they listen to an episode or two of Chronic Canon and they've been like, Heat, like, all right, I don't know anything about it, so I can still keep listening. Hopefully they don't bring it up every episode and remind me all the time. And it's like, I'm with you. You know, I understand that you want to watch it, but it takes time and you're also dumb. You should be watching it.
So, like, I don't know if we'll ever cross that line, but maybe it's more a reflection of the fan. Are you a true fan?
If you
You're gonna
haven't
keep
seen
listening and you're not gonna watch Heat?
I guess that's true.
That's
Why-
pretty
really-
fucked up, man.
It's like, imagine if you were able to be here. Imagine if you were Jordan.
Well, we don't do last names.
I'll put it in. Future Jesse, put it in.
Imagine you are Jordan. You are a fan. You're in this room for a recording of an episode of the Chronic Canon, and you can't pass the heat check. What are you gonna do?
Well, no, if you haven't seen Heat, you can't be a guest on the show.
Oh,
That should be
That
its own
is
rule.
the criteria. Wait,
I'm fuck with that.
so far so
I'm
good.
fuck with that.
So far so good.
Hey, we're
I'm
incorporating.
fuck with
Okay,
that.
so we smoke weed and we watch these movies and we're high while we talk about them. But today we've also decided to incorporate the little bit of alcohol because our friend Jordan here is not a big smoker and we respect that.
Yeah.
So if you
I'm a
don't
fan
smoke,
of the
hang
Devil's
out,
Lettuce.
man.
See, we told you.
As evident why the microphone is already clipping 2
What's
minutes in.
clipping?
The microphones.
Because
you're
we're loud?
You're a little loud.
Yeah, I think you can probably roll everyone
I rolled them.
off.
I rolled them
Okay,
back. I
thank
rolled
you.
them back.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah,
All
Jordan is also a sound aficionado. He's probably responsible for the reason that you're all going like, "Hey, this is louder than it's ever been."
I have
Wait a
noticed
second.
last couple are quiet.
I can understand this.
Hey, Howie Bling just came up. Nice.
Hey.
He's
Hey.
approving of Jordan being here.
Hey, I haven't
Approve
had
it?
that blunt in a
Can
about
we
to hit
double back though, real quick? I think you should institute like an episode counter of like countdown to when you have to tell people that if they haven't seen Heat, they can get the fuck out. So it's like start now. It's like 10 episodes, and if you haven't seen Heat, get the fuck out. And then next episode is 9 episodes.
Well, if
you
we
haven't
ever
seen Heat, get the
do
fuck out.
if we ever do Heat on the pod,
Listen.
I think that's when it's like, okay,
Well, yeah.
what's the fucking excuse now, motherfucker?
Because why are you listening to a podcast about a movie if you haven't seen the
No,
movie? Because
you
that's
guys-
we didn't
Well,
mention this.
movie.
We didn't mention this. Not only do we spoil the movie that we're talking about
yeah.
very in depth, because we haven't talked about it yet. We're talking about The Wolf of Wall Street today. Because we
that was
talk
wild.
about Sassy on this particular series of the Chronic Canon. The first series, in fact. So if you are here, welcome. You are an OG listener. And if you are doubling back episodes later, series later, if those end up existing, I suppose,
What's
welcome
up, baby?
also. But you're a little late to the potty, okay?
So you're saying
You did insult me a little bit.
just a little bit.
Okay.
Did insult them a little bit.
Okay.
Insulted my friend Jesse a little bit. I'm
Anyway,
Frank.
I'm Jesse.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Jordan.
Hey,
Good boy.
Nice,
He's
nice.
already
Good
in.
boy.
Nice.
That's okay. That is the first test of a guest. That's
They can
true.
jump into the
If
ring.
they
They
know.
don't mention it
because
at
we
all.
don't tell them.
Yeah.
No.
We don't tell them to do it.
We
It's
turn the
just like
triangle into a square.
You better know that you gotta jump in there.
Yep.
The second thing we gotta ask them. It's a
What?
heat check.
We gotta have the heat check.
Jordan, this is your time to shine, baby.
Gotcha.
You better not disappoint all the peoples out there. How do you feel about Heat?
I like Heat a lot.
How much is a lot?
Like a lot. It's like that's a 9 out of 10 movie for me, and probably my top like 30 movies ever.
Okay,
What
I
takes
forget
it down?
he's a,
Oh, yeah,
he's
I'm
a
a-
stickler for
I'm a
rating.
huge
Explain your
stickler
rating
for it.
system.
I've seen like almost 800 movies, and I have
Ooh.
8 10 out of 10s.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like I'm like if I see something better, like I'm always like like figure skating scores. It's like
Okay.
people always give it like the best scores ever, like a 9.5 out of
Right,
10, because it's
right.
like what the hell if you see something better? I don't know. I'm a stickler for it. Like
That's fine.
my top like 100-ish movies is like almost all 8 out of 10s.
Okay. So
I've
9
become
out of
more
10,
of a
you're
curmudgeon
saying.
for the rating. Before I used to give everything 5 stars. Now it's pretty.
I won't.
exclusive.
Yeah.
I still do.
I barely
love
give
it.
anything a 9-star.
If I'm having a great time, I'm gonna give you 5 stars. Or if I feel like I'm taking more away from the movie than what was visually represented, I'm probably gonna give you 5
Man,
stars.
but there have been plenty of times in which we've watched a movie. I've seen you getting jazzed. I've seen you go crazy, and it's a movie that I love. And I'm like, I'm so happy you're with us. And you're like 3.5. And I was like, what the hell just happened, man? I think
if
you're
you're
just doing this
talking
to
about
spite me.
if you're talking about Maniac or whatever,
Maniac.
what was
Angst.
the
Okay, I didn't think you were gonna like that. For the record, that was not my
Like,
pick. I did
I'm-
not want that for you. I felt bad, but I was like,
Shouldn't
hey,
you
I want you to
say-
watch a movie with me, so I guess this is the one. If everyone else is picking it, wasn't up to me that day.
Be happy, that I recognize the cinematic brilliance of it or whatever. Just like literally is not, my jazz.
Yeah. Okay, but,
But
I
name
would say
another
that
one.
was. I'd say that is chiefly responsible for and by our man, Mr. Martin Scorsese. Correct.
Okay. Wait, hold on. We got to
I
rewind.
think that he's what?
Jordan just opened that bottle with his teeth.
He said he was going
Whoa!
to. He said he was
I
going to.
announced that.
I didn't hear.
This is a hedonistic podcast today.
Yeah, and we derailed. I want to hear more about Heat, God damn it.
Okay, a hedonistic podcast. Back to it, bitch.
Yeah.
Let me hear it.
So we understand that you're a stickler for ratings, so 9 out of 10 is a very high praise. Top
Yes.
30, you said. Okay.
Something like that.
But
yeah.
what about it? I want to know.
I want to know what knocks
You
it
have
down
to wax
the star.
about. No.
I have to wax poetic about Heat.
both. Why is it not a 10 out of 10? Because you're wrong. And also,
Jesus.
We have to figure out what's a 10 out of 10.
Like I said, like the 10 out of 10 movies are like not only the movies that I enjoy the most, but also the ones that I feel warm and fuzzy like years later
Okay.
after watching.
you don't feel that way about Heat?
No, I do, but I don't feel like it. Like when I don't feel like that.
Okay, let me ask
Sorry,
you a
go.
question. When you think about Heat, what's the quote you think of first? What's your favorite?
That's
I'm
important.
kind of a normie here. I just
No, it's okay.
Wanna hear it.
Great ass. I mean,
Okay, no, but
Yeah.
let,
Okay,
me,
but
let me
you
ask you a
didn't do
question.
it.
Let me
You
ask you a
didn't-
question. When you see that scene in your head and you hear that line, what do you feel inside?
warm and fuzzy.
That's
God
what I
damn
fucking
it!
thought. That's what I fucking thought. That's what I thought.
You set him up. You set him up. All right. Are you Team De Niro or are you Team Pacino?
What does that mean?
Performance-wise, character-wise.
Pacino's like that's my favorite of his roles, but it's definitely the least reserved.
Yeah.
Least insane.
I don't know,
It's
man.
honestly, though, it's one of De Niro's most reserved. Like he's really.
Well, De
One of
Niro's the
them.
reserve king.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Sometimes.
He's only gotten more reserved over the
For
years.
sure,
if
for sure.
anything, 'cause
True,
I feel
true,
like he
true.
caps off with Raging Bull and Rupert
Johnny
Pupkin
Boy.
and all that shit. Johnny Boy
Richard
is early
Pumpkin?
on. Rupert Pupkin.
I know.
Richard? Dick
I've
Pumpkin.
got a Mr. Pumpkin here.
Oh, that's.
I love the
it's
King of
Pumpkin.
Comedy.
No,
Okay, we
Mr.
were just
Pipkin?
watching clips from the King of Comedy yesterday. I was like, motherfucker, this is such a great movie.
Okay,
I
but
can't
also
Here's a picture of my pride and joy.
seeing those,
wait. So good. It's so good.
seeing it out of context, I literally got so scared. I was like, "Oh, Rupert Pupkin's a fucking maniac."
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
he's
big
There's
time.
no
crazy.
secret about it.
I know, but like he's actually A
He
psychopath.
kidnaps Jerry Lewis.
Jerry Langford.
I was saying for.
The sake of-
Tell me
yeah, I
about Heat.
understand.
Yeah,
De
he.
Niro.
Michael
You
Mann.
gotta say the line like Pacino says.
Yeah.
It.
Great ass. So you just like specifically great ass, not even the whole
Hey,
thing.
your head's so far up. I don't know.
And your head's all the way up. Sorry.
We don't got headphones.
I don't know. I probably just for the novelty of it go Pacino just because it's so much fucking fun.
So much
fun.
When go back to Phoenix, she'll be rising.
Him talking about his television set is also amazing.
Ralph, sit down.
He's
Don't
just got
waste
it in
my
his car,
motherfucking time.
like it's his kid that he's taking away.
You guys at work the other day, I got to scream, "Don't waste my motherfucking time!"
Did
and
you
it was
really? It
real.
was, like, earnest?
It was earnest. They called me out to look at something, and I didn't have to look at it. And then I paused and I was like, "It's here!" And I screamed it.
I've
at
waited
the
my
top
whole
of my
life.
lungs in the warehouse.
How did it go?
I walked away. I didn't wait for the reaction.
You don't wait for the reaction.
I just had to do
Cool
it.
guys
and then
don't look
left.
at explosions.
Do you think
dummy.
Al Pacino waited for the reaction there?
Exactly.
No,
He
but I
just
mean-
went for it.
I'm just saying, did you read the room?
No, I was gone.
Okay.
I was like,
You're
I gotta
gone
go.
like a thief in the night.
Like a heat in the fight.
Have we ever solidified what team we're on, boys?
Huh?
Have we ever solidified
I
we're
think
I
team?
bounce every viewing.
I think, it goes back and forth. But
Every
I think,
single viewing.
I do think I lean more toward Pacino on that one.
Every single
think,
viewing.
Like after watching it, I've only seen it once.
You've only seen Heat once?
I think I've only seen it once.
Yeah, that's why I keep being like, we should watch it again.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, I've seen it too many
Turn
times.
this off. Let's watch Heat.
We'll be right back.
This.
Let's get the 4K going.
So yeah, I've only seen it once. And after the first viewing, like the most initial viewing, I was like,
The most initial.
Team Pacino.
There's another
Because I've watched the movie 100 more times in my head since, like maybe every night.
okay.
So
We watched clips. I've definitely watched like the first 30
I think
minutes.
I
with
think
him
with
since.
time it has grown to be like Team De Niro, just like I work in metals.
Here's the thing.
I'm a salesman.
Contextually, though, like De Niro has some more roles that are kind of similar to that one, where it's like you're kind of like,
Acting wise,
Pacino. That's what I'm
acting
saying.
wise, certainly, but I think like character wise,
Pacino does, but like I don't know, man. He's that movie. He's fucking bonkers in that
is fucking
movie.
bonkers.
There's so much going on
It's
with
because
Vincent
he's
Hanna.
trying to intimidate. He's living a crazy, chaotic life. Gotta
get
go.
killed like
I got
gotta
30
go.
bodies dead on Venice Boulevard.
Is he not fucking crazy in Carlito's Way?
Oh, he's
no,
insane.
no.
Well, no, he's reserved, but
it's
the accent is what
makes
takes
it
it to
feel
11.
crazy, but he's actually kind of a
He's
chill
crazy in
character.
Scarface.
Dog Day Afternoon is just a wild movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Wild
he's
movie.
pretty loud in
He's
that.
that's people don't
Godfather,
think-
he's reserved. The first
very
one.
yeah.
Second one, a little less.
But like even at that, he's not going like
No, he's not
haywire in
going
that movie.
Vincent
Yeah,
Hanna.
He's smooching John Cazale pretty hard though.
Yeah. You betrayed me, brother.
Fredo,
I don't remember what he says.
Fuedo, I knew it was you.
Fuedo.
You
Hey,
come-
not fucking cool.
Hey, Fuedo, I knew it was you. Okay.
I don't know.
why did your Oh,
Don't
God.
question it.
Why did that accent sound like your Irish accent from The Departed?
Departed. That's a Boston
Departed.
accent.
It sounded
Fuedo.
like that.
Park the car and have a yard.
Fuedo. Hey.
Come on. Hey.
Okay, so you're mostly Team Pacino. Your favorite quote's great ass. Do you cry at the end?
How do you feel about them holding hands?
Did you cry?
Just remember we said we spoil movies on this podcast if you're listening.
Definitely didn't cry the last couple times I watched it. I don't remember if I did the first time.
But do you feel like you
Oh.
get why you should cry?
Yeah, I'm probably sitting there and I'm probably like, don't cry. Your girlfriend's going to think you're a bitch. It's like,
Well, she shouldn't be crying too.
well, no, she would definitely be. Actually, we did watch that not that long ago and she might have cried. She
How
loved
do you
it.
not?
She loved it.
Think shout out. God
How
bless.
could you
Shout
not?
out.
Yeah.
How could you not? He's the fucking best.
If
What are you all
watch
waiting
Heat
for?
and you don't like it, you're too deep in. Get the fuck out of here.
Why do you even do you like
Out.
movies?
It's the movie.
We were just saying this earlier. I was like, Michael Mann.
It's movie.
Okay, like
Michael Mann puts his feet on the ground. He does the real work to get the shit done, to find the reality in the stories that he's trying to
it's
tell. But then
still-
he always goes back and he's like, but it's still a movie.
He
God
stares
damn it.
at Edie for like literally 30 seconds as Pacino's running at him. It's like, this does not temporally make any sense, but it's the most powerful moment in movie
No,
history.
but that's
maybe.
why he gets caught because he didn't go when he saw the
Is there
heat
any
around the
like
corner.
slow mo in there at all? I don't think there is.
No.
I think
In Heat,
because all the
is there
people are running
slow-mo?
past them and
No, it's not slow mo. They just
Yeah, it's
literally
just-
just keep
it-
cutting back and forth.
temporally. I like that
Well,
word.
it's interesting because Michael,
pertaining to
I
time.
like that.
that movie very specifically, and I mean like all Mann's movies, especially from that point on, like he shoots with very long lenses, so everything in the background is super blown out, not a focus, and it makes everything kind of that much more disorienting and sort
Guys,
of impressionistic.
If it's not too late, would you actually have time to watch Heat after this?
I can't, but you guys can.
Fuck off, mate.
I'm sorry. I want to watch it just as bad
Okay,
as all
so
you.
Jordan, you say you're a baptized heatonist.
Oh yeah.
You accept the religion of
You
Heat.
you bathe in God's face across the moving waters.
That's the name of the movie.
I do.
Jared. At
Good.
the end of the
I do.
movie.
Good.
George, do we say it?
What?
Jordan got us a fucking gift, and it was
Oh,
a fucking
yeah.
Heat poster.
Yeah, that was
and
a
I
surprise.
literally almost started crying when
No,
you walked
you
in
did
with
start
it.
crying.
Well, it's a fan it's a very minimalist poster of just a white tablecloth with 2 coffee cups end to end, left and right, just like that scene in the movie. If you've seen it, if you haven't seen it, then obviously you wouldn't get it because you
Well,
fucking
no,
idiot.
they're already not here.
Well,
Nobody-
if you haven't
nobody-
seen it,
and
that's
you're
fine.
listening?
No, you haven't seen it. That's fine. That's
No,
all
yeah,
you
you
can say.
yeah, I forgot our own rules.
Listen, Linda, listen.
Whoa, everyone who hasn't seen it got scared for a second. It's okay,
looking about
guys.
the threat and
We're
violence.
You
joking.
became Vincent Hanna for a second. You went full
She'll
off.
be rising. Okay, other question, Jordan. That's
Okay.
important. Our big buddy, our friend,
Our friend.
our best friend
our
of the
papa.
canon, Mr. Martin Scorsese.
How do you feel about him?
Sessy.
He'll always be the godfather of the
He
chronic
is.
canon.
He's the reason we're here.
Yeah.
This is all a ruse to
literally
get people to understand the
made this
Irishman's the
happen.
fucking
The
best.
Irishman
We're
is the
his
best.
baby.
Because that's something that we neglected to mention early on that I wanted to, is that it's not just about trying to get people to understand Heat is the best. It's also that The Irishman is actually the best.
Right.
You're gonna
Like, it's
go.
like-
You're gonna go through 20 directors,
And look,
only to get to Michael Mann
It's
and
Pacino.
only do Heat.
it's Pacino and De Niro back to back. 2 different directors, 2 different styles, 2 different genres, but somehow they're correlated. They
hot in
work.
here.
It is a little warm in here.
It's because I'm drunk and smoking.
Probably.
Can we turn the air on?
No.
Right sound.
Yeah.
Disappointing. 0 out of 10. Okay, so
Everybody stop listening while we cool down.
no. Mr. Godfather of the chronic canon, Marty. How do you feel about Marty, Jordan? Jordan.
Jordan.
Belfort.
We have a Jordan in the
We have a
house.
Jordan on a Jordan.
Before
Holy
we
fuck.
before we get
I
into
thought
the
about this
movie,
earlier at work and I
Yeah.
literally forgot about it.
where I'm putting in place right now, we refer to Jordan Belfort, Leonardo DiCaprio's character, as Leo the whole podcast.
We'll see what happens.
Because here's the thing: if you say Jordan, I'm just gonna go, "What was that? What was that?"
What'd you
Well,
say?
it might be a
What-
good podcast.
Excuse me, I've never done loots.
This is your bit.
Podcasting, excuse me.
podcast.
I said
This is a pod.
podcasting. I'm a fucking
And-
rook.
As a fan of the show, I think you need to institute some sort of like repercussions for saying the D cast rather than
Oh,
podcast.
interesting.
I'm
What
punching
would
the
that be?
balls.
It could be taking hits from the Gravitron and you can't suck at the podcast.
You know I would not like that.
Yeah,
can't-
okay, that's what it is. You have to hit the grav bong if you say
Well, I
The D,
did.
the D
D word,
cast, the
the
D
D word,
cast.
the D
Is
cast.
this
No, not starting now. Man,
No,
Jordan,
no.
you came
I
in
got
here.
all the ideas. You
Yeah.
can use them
now.
next podcast.
You came in here, you just started
What'd you
fucking
just
everything
say?
up.
Fuck! You dropped the hard
Finish your
D.
beer, I guess.
Yeah, finish your beer, bruh.
Well, I thought it was next podcast.
No, it's starting now.
What is wrong with
starting
you?
That wasn't even a bit. That was genuine.
Oh no,
Break out the Gravitron.
it's after the podcast.
Okay.
The
Well,
We're
what?
gonna tally them up.
No, I'll chug mine. Just
Okay.
kidding. I'm not chugging this
Oh,
GNT.
okay.
I will die.
We have so much more to go.
Yes, we haven't actually even talked
Right,
about this
because
movie.
you got to talk about Marty first.
No,
What's your
finish.
okay?
Finish
Jordan,
this.
What's your relationship with Marty? How do you feel about him?
How much
as
have
a
you
whole?
seen?
Let's start there. Let's start with the whole.
Okay,
Your
okay, okay.
overview of Marty.
I've seen most of the Sassies.
What?
We sound like we're on cocaine. This
That's
is
the
crazy.
point.
We need that energy.
Thematically consistent.
Have you
It-
seen this movie?
Jesse,
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Looking
say
back,
hype.
I can't
trying to
follow
say
what's
hype.
happening.
Hype.
So stoned, bro.
No more weed for you.
Okay, well that's
so-
fine. You got to
Drink
finish
more
that blunt.
alcohol.
I'm going to.
All right, Jordan,
Okay,
Marty.
Maddie.
Podcast.
I love Sassy. I've seen most of the Sassies that people care about, and some of the ones.
Canonical, as
Yeah.
they say.
And then some of the ones that aren't in the canon, and I haven't seen some that are in the canon. But either way, I really like Sassy, and Jesse mentioned it one of the last episodes. I think he's like one of the only directors to really bridge over and do like super fucking big movies that everyone likes that are also really, really, really good and also have like a decent,
Like artistically profound.
yeah, I don't want to sound like a douche about it.
You
but
gotta
like,
sound the douche like
I'm a
that.
Yeah,
jag-off.
he's-
We're all
Have you listened to
jag-offs here at the
He's- yeah,
Chronic
he-
Canon.
a little more sophistication, a little more je ne sais quoi.
As they say.
Yeah, as they
I
say.
do think he's in the small camp of people that
Who's,
truly
okay, you
belong
mentioned
to
this,
that.
and you said that last episode or one of the last episodes. Who else you put in there? Because I struggled to come up with fucking
Kubrick.
any. Kubrick.
No, he
I don't
does-
know, dude.
Hey man, he
The
bridges the gap.
Shining-
The Shining is proof.
The
positive.
Shining is, but
The Shining alone
Yeah,
is enough
but
to say
I
it
feel
will
like-
count.
I feel
Full
like-
Metal Jacket's a big one that people
Yeah.
Clockwork Orange is a weirdly huge one.
Michael Bay.
It's
Dr.
a weirdly
Strangelove.
huge movie.
No, but see, like
Everybody's seen Clockwork Orange. Shut up, Brandon.
I,
Everybody's
just,
seen Clockwork
I feel like his movies that everyone's seen. It's like those are filmy movies. Like those are the people who like movies a lot. Are
Not
super
the
into
four I
like
just
2001 and Clockwork Orange.
2001 for sure. Like Eyes Wide Shut for sure. Barry Lyndon for sure. Those
definitely.
are ones people are on the fringes are going.
Yeah,
But
like,
a general
dude,
mass
Sassy-
audience.
Sassy has
You're right.
like
He's got like
fucking 8 movies that everyone loves and everyone has seen.
Yeah.
It's insane. I love the dude.
He's very singular, especially for
I love
being an
him.
American. Like
Oh,
that's rare to find.
Does Tarantino fall into? I don't think he's as
Yes.
artfully intelligent as Sassy though.
You've run across the world's biggest Tarantino stan.
I mean, he's certainly he's certainly
I know, I
personal.
know.
Just kidding. It's okay.
That's,
I'm sorry.
He wears
I
his
know,
heart
I
on his
know.
sleeve.
He wears his heart on his sleeve,
I
and he
do.
is artistic compared to like the normal hum.
Well, you know, you
the
talked
normal
about the other
Hollywood,
day.
Hollywood. What's happened?
Hollywood.
Please cut all that.
No,
the
never.
normal Hollywood humdrum.
Yes.
Tarantino definitely contains more artistry than that, and he is weirdly one of the most successful commercial.
hear me out,
directors
hear me out,
of
hear me out.
modern
Quickly,
times.
quickly, to your point, the other day we were in the gift store seeing Andy Warhol memorabilia, and you said Andy Warhol's a shithead.
Fuck Andy Warhol.
So,
he's not an artist.
I
That's
do
bullshit.
think that Tarantino is kind of the cinematic equivalent to an Andy Warhol,
No,
kind
no,
of
no,
copy
no,
and
no.
pasting aesthetics and
No, no, no.
styles
I was
and
gonna say.
moods. But not saying that that's a
Boo.
bad thing because I like Andy Warhol.
Fuck Andy Warhol.
Fuck Andy Warhol.
But I like Quentin.
Tarantino's the shit.
I like Tarantino enough.
Quentin Tarantino.
Tarantino.
Tarantino enough.
Quentin Tarantino is like to directors as Donald Trump is to presidents.
Whoa.
If
That's
he was
Donald
doing
Trump
a
wasn't
good job,
shitbag.
if he was doing a good job,
Oh, okay. I guess.
that's
What?
that's how I feel about
Literally
Tarantino.
the worst analogy
Don't
you've ever
don't
made.
like him. He sucks, but at least the product is okay sometimes. But not that way with
So
Donnie.
it's if
We
Trump
stop
was
at the-
So you have a
Don't-
hypothetical to then make your analogy work.
No, you're
You can
not
insert
listening.
anyone
Bro,
who
you just
don't
said
like.
if Donald Trump was doing a good job. That's a hypothetical situation to make your analogy work.
Yeah.
Garbage.
How?
Next.
Fine.
We don't have to dwell on Tarantino because
Right,
I'm
'cause we're
going to
talking
draw
Marty.
swords.
Well, who else? There's
I don't think
somebody
there. I think
I used
Kubrick,
to say
I
Nolan,
don't
but
think
that's a lie.
Kubrick is a good example because Kubrick has like 2 movies that people
Or
go.
I already did. Clockwork, Full Metal Jacket,
don't think-
Shining, and
I don't
what's
think.
the other one I fucking said? Doesn't matter.
I don't think
Dr.
Clockwork
Strangelove,
is.
Paths of Glory.
No, no.
Those
Paths-
aren't huge.
Those are
though.
definitely
Spartacus.
I don't know. I
Frank's
don't think
gotta
Kubrick's.
keep
I
hitting that
love
point.
Stanley Kubrick, but like
Okay.
no.
He's close. He's
I don't
close.
think anyone has got that. I don't know. Sassy is like
I can't think
He's
of
that
anybody off
dude.
the top of my head.
He's
But
just that dude.
He's definitely one of the biggest filmmakers I think of when it comes to bridging the gap between commercial film and artistic film.
And I do think that's like ultimately like that is where you should strive to be.
hell yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah, big
that
time.
is the perfect. Don't you want like
Well, it depends. Do you
Oh,
want that
does-
level of success?
does Spielberg count? I think we take him for
yeah.
granted.
No, he does.
But I think he is more artistic than like you think. He's not like Ceci. Though.
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah,
everybody,
Still not like
everybody in the cinematic
Brat
Rat
Pack?
Pack, like kind of like De Palma's definitely on the fringes.
Yeah, but
What is
Yeah,
the
he's-
but he's
cinematic
made-
Rat Pack? Is this?
well, it's all the guys that like all came up together at the same
Oh,
time,
okay,
like
okay.
Spielberg, De Palma, Lucas, Coppola,
They were best buds,
Scorsese,
and they were
Schrader. All of them were big buddies, and they
Yeah,
fucking
okay,
hung out all the
okay.
time and wrote each other's movies. and
Coppola's a
auditioned
good
movies.
one.
Yeah,
Like,
he's a good example.
his-
but his,
his
movies
big-
got way more like interesting and artistic as
Yeah.
they went on.
nobody
like,
cared.
yeah,
Yeah.
after Apocalypse Now, like once it got to Rumblefish, it was like, what the literal hell? Same year as The Outsiders too.
Yeah. I was like Coppola's 3 big movies are like super duper duper well acclaimed by filmies and just
General audience.
yeah, they're like three of the biggest ones
Well,
of that sort.
If you're talking about old directors, Hitchcock's up there.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Yeah.
God.
If we're
Well, and
thinking
I
of
won't
the
say
whole
because
broad
I'm not a huge
spectrum.
Hitchcock guy.
Yeah, we've talked
So
about that.
yeah, well, we've
I
talked about the
am.
whole old movie thing.
Yeah.
Well, what's your whole old movie thing?
What's your old movie thing?
I think I'm kind of with Brandon. He mentioned something on one of the last podcasts where sometimes like
I'm sorry, one of the last what?
He's chugging.
He's
his beer.
He's a slurping down that beer.
sorry on the last
He's
podcast.
3 beers deep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good shit.
I hope you got that.
Oh, I definitely got that.
He it's like sometimes the act I don't know much about like acting or even really anything that goes into developing a movie, but the acting style a lot of the times in older movies is so theatrical in the sense of like theater to me that like sometimes it takes me out.
Film language didn't really develop like that until like the 60s, 70s, where
Exactly.
it like was completely its own identity.
Well, where we've moved into what is now modern.
So
filmmaking.
it takes something. I brought this up to Jesse just chilling in my studio the other day, and
Oh, plug.
oh yeah, the
Humble
Vol
brag.
studio.
At the end, you can plug stuff.
Oh, yeah,
should
big
you have
time.
done it at the start?
Well, I was
It's
just
too late now.
mentioning where
I know, but I'm
the
now
setting
wanting
was
you to plug
important.
your
Yeah,
stuff.
Location is important.
Either way,
Sassy makes that known.
we were talking about like I tend to gravitate towards like old foreign movies because reading
Yes.
subtitles like the acting doesn't take me out sometimes quite as much because I don't understand what the hell they're saying, but I can read it and the atmosphere might be right. I don't know.
No, I
That
fuck
kind
with
of thing.
Did you know that you're actually the Martin Scorsese of this podcast?
Am I?
Perfectly between me and Jesse and Brandon.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I've
Did you just congratulations, it's Marty. He's here.
Wow. In the flesh.
I mean, we've had him here a couple of times in the past, but it's good to have him here.
As a
now.
guest.
What?
He just hasn't talked on the microphone.
Oh,
Marty
Oh,
Sassy
Marty.
says
Yes.
that.
Marty,
Yeah.
you want to say anything?
No, I'm okay. Thank you.
Well, get your hand off Marty's fucking throat. Why do you sound like that?
He's all right. He's going to take a nap.
Everything's fine. Though I gotta
He's
say,
popping some old lemons.
back to what you said, Jordan, about being able to watch older foreign films. I was thinking this to myself the other day about like why do I like basically anything like Japanese or like Asian or like Eastern culture. Like I'm instantly like gonna vibe with it, even if it's like a fucking like soap opera. And like I like what do they call it? Telenovelas. Like I like those too. And I think about like how I don't like American soap operas other than to just like laugh. And like I don't really get like, oh, like Margaret, Teresa, blah 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 blah. Like I don't get enticed, but like with
which one are you referring to
man,
right now?
When
Margaret.
you watch Twin Peaks, it's all gonna change. It's all gonna change. You're gonna be like, what's going on with all these?
But
people?
with these foreign cultures, I do get enticed and I do get wrapped in and I do feel like I enjoy.
Erected?
I said enticed.
Drunk.
is one of the reasons
open
you do
your heart
like
to me and yums.
is one of the reasons you do because you like reading it means that you don't necessarily have to base your opinions on like the emotion based on exactly what the actor is saying or actress is saying.
Yeah, and it's also like I don't know a lack of understanding like
Sure.
how their culture works in terms of like you don't know it, but you're so used to how like Americans make their movies and how American actors act and how like even how foreign people act in American movies. It's very different than how someone over in like Taiwan is gonna do it.
So
sure,
is it
for
just
sure.
like a lack of your own preconceived notions?
Yeah, so it feels like there's
fuck
more
with
that I'm
that.
gaining. And I think about why I don't like the same concepts presented in like American culture. And I think it's just like a lack of liking the like material that this culture produces and not knowing enough about these other cultures to even begin to sort of have those dislikes, It's like why people from other countries envy art from other countries, basically. It's because it's like people probably
You're not steeped in it.
like Michael Bay has probably like a huge following in China and probably is not overrated in China. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like here, you say Michael Bay and people are like, ugh,
Most
Yeah.
explosions.
I think it's something-
I'm a Bayhead. I love Michael Bay.
Bayhead? Is that
I don't know.
come up with the what is
Bayham?
a Michael Bay fan
Michael
called?
Bayham?
I'm a Bay boy.
I'm a Beyblade.
I'm a Beyblade.
No, I think of a movie like High and Low.
One of the best movies.
I
ever made.
love High and Low,
One of the
but
best
I feel
movies
like if
ever
High and Low was an English or American, any English speaking movie where I wasn't reading the subtitles, I would not like it nearly as much because I noticed like a lot of the mannerisms of the people acting were some of the stuff that. Or were some of the things, that take me out of some of the older movies that I have watched. And
Mifune, like as much as I love him, he's very theatrical. bro.
very,
He's very
but
big.
that's
he's always
if,
big.
If he was speaking English, sometimes I feel like I wouldn't be able to vibe with it quite as much. I don't know.
Well, I've said that about Bergman too, especially
Big
where it's
time.
like if you put his movies in English, there
I've
would be a
thrown that
loss to
argument
like
at
the
you.
poetry.
Yeah.
Like there's just be something that he's too literal almost.
We talked about that with Hereditary. If the
Yeah.
dialogue was subtitled, I don't think it would be as annoying as it sometimes
You're right.
is. As much as I love that movie, sometimes I'm like,
If it
the
were a foreign
dialogue
film.
hits weird, but I bet if I was reading it, I'd fall into this
It's
easier.
like people don't talk like this, do
Right.
they?
Right.
Yeah.
But
It's
then,
like-
which is funny though, because like in most movies, people never talk like how anyone talks
Right,
ever.
because
You were just
people
talking about
talk bad.
But
the,
it's
the
the-
Departed was literally just quips the whole movie,
whole
and
movie's quips.
that movie fucking slaps, and I'm invested.
You didn't
in,
even have to do it. You
I
didn't
know.
even have to do it. You
I'm
didn't even have to
invested-
do it yet.
I'm in that movie as if that movie were happening in real life, and like everyone is saying shit that they would actually say, which they would never say any of those things.
Not a
No.
Somebody
Hideout.
might say that he's not a fucking cop.
Not a fucking cop.
Thank you.
Do it.
Listen.
Do it.
I can't
Try.
I'm not a fucking cop.
Yes.
That was a little bit Schwarzenegger. That was terrible.
I'll be back.
I'm not a fucking cop. So you love The Departed?
Yes.
All right. So what's your fuck? So in
What's that?
essence,
Can we get into? Can we get
no,
into?
no, no, no,
No. Okay.
In essence, we love
dying.
everything you've said about Sassy.
Okay.
This is my last fucking question before
Got
and if
it.
somebody else has a thing. What are your favorite Sassies up to? Like, what are the ones that you vibe with the most?
Do they have to be ones that the canon, the
No,
chronic? I'd say The Irishman and Goodfellas are my two faves.
You're right. Those are that.
And
Jordan,
then-
congrats. That's the correct answer.
Perfect. All right. Thanks, Teach. And then outside of that, he's got like 6 movies that I think are like grade A shit that I love. The Departed's amazing.
Right answer.
The movie that we're talking about, to spoil my opinion, I think is awesome.
Okay. That's okay. We
Um,
usually spoil it pretty fast.
Yeah.
Quite quickly.
It's how do you hide how you
I was
feel
gonna say,
about a movie?
quite quickly, but we are, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes into this,
That's
and we
it?
have
I
mentioned
assumed
it
we were
once.
9 hours.
Yeah. I felt 45 in my head.
Let me check the cess.
The
You don't- how do you
cesspool.
not know the
The
top
cesspool.
of your dome?
The
ones you love.
The tap of my. Raging Bull. I love Raging Bull.
You know, I've been thinking about Raging Bull like almost like once a week.
I've been saying that
Literally?
a lot.
Like at least once a day, Jesse and I will just randomly be like, I'm thinking about Raging Bull like every
is
day.
it literally his best? Not my favorite.
It used to be mine.
But
just
not
like-
favorite. Not
No,
like
I think The
what's an
Irishman is
What's
his
a more
best.
what's a more raw fucking movie? Like
Well-
by Sassy.
Okay,
Sorry.
thank you.
More raw.
Mean Streets
in
is
the
pretty raw.
brutality sense.
No.
Mean Streets is raw, but it's a different. That's like a
yeah,
slide.
It's,
yeah,
it's
no, I feel
unrefined.
that.
It's
But when
unrefined.
you say
Yeah.
raw, do you mean
Damn.
emotionally and brutally raw?
I mean
That's that
everything.
ratio.
Because The Irishman's pretty fucking raw.
It's pretty. It's a different. That's old.
I don't know.
Kind of raw.
That's
Irishman
that's
is a very
tranquil raw.
slow
Irishman
burn.
feels like pouring salt into
No,
a wound,
it-
man.
no.
But it's a meditative porn.
Because I don't know, like maybe the last hour and a half, but for that first hour and a half, you're in it to win it. You're like, I'm riding high. Yeah,
It's
Frank
just
Sheeran,
Goodfellas,
do whatever you got to
Casino.
do. Let's have this fun.
I
Oh,
don't
you
know,
got to
man.
kill
There was
your
a
best
sense
friend.
of cold to it the whole
In The Irishman?
time. Oh,
So,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
but
No,
you
definitely.
with Raging Bull, you do not have 1 second of bliss. You're like, oh
Never.
yeah, this is what this is going
No,
to
it's
be.
Yeah.
complete.
Let's go.
It's awful. The
Like we're
entire
just
time.
doing this now.
Me too.
So good. So
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Just
end,
like I was thinking about it a lot
You're
today.
fitting right in.
I'm gonna end my sassy talk, and we can get into the actual movie we're supposed to talk
You don't
about.
get to dictate this.
I'm directing
I'm
shit.
derailing
You
now.
guys already called me the Marty of the podcast, so I get to direct.
You did give him that title.
Shut up.
Fucking
Shut up.
goddamn it.
Big swinging dick.
So no, my top. I've got 6 movies that by him that I really, really, really like, and my 2 faves are Irishman and Goodfellas, and then the Departed and Raging Bull are my next 2 like loves, and then my really, really, really likes are Wolf of Wall Street and King of Comedy.
Great.
Those are
yeah.
all 8 out of 10 or 4 star out of 5+ whatever.
I think we usually do
We
5
love that.
stars.
You do 5. Okay, yeah, those are both 4-star plus movies, and almost all of those are in my like. I used to have like a top 100, but then I realized that I didn't have 100 movies that I actually like cared about enough to put in a list. So it's like 80 something, and I think almost all 6 of those are in there. That's fucking insane.
Good.
Good.
He's a good boy. We glad you love
the
him.
goodest of boys.
And that's why we have you here to talk about the
He's
Wolf
a good
of Wall
Catholic
Street.
Talk about the wolf.
Well, is he a good Catholic boy? He might be a bad Catholic
He's a
boy.
bad kid.
He's a bad.
Frank, are we the only 2
Catholic
Catholics
boy.
here?
I'm not Catholic.
Well, I mean, you're confirmed. Sorry. In the eyes of hold up. In the eyes of the church, you're a Catholic.
You're right.
So am I,
been
and we are
fucking
both
revealed.
dirty heathens.
Are either of you confirmed?
No, I went to church until I was 4.
Yeah, we are
and that
both
was it.
confirmed. Assad.
I don't know.
You feel PTSD from it a little
Assad,
bit?
God.
Saw God, don't hate me if
saw
you're
God.
real.
No,
What a twist.
I didn't go. You went to Catholic school. I did not. I just went to catechism, and no, I'm not.
It does though. I said it to somebody the other day. They were talking about.
I can't
some
wait till you guys
Jesus
get the
thing. I was just
silence.
like, I still don't. It's just, I just instantly hate it. Just whatever you're saying to me, you're showing me. It's like
So we're
it's
gonna-
not funny. I'm just mad.
If your children are listening, turn it off for the next 30 seconds.
I know I say this all the time. If a child is listening to this podcast,
What's
good
that-
for
what's
you.
going on?
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Okay, well, hold on.
Oh,
Speaking
dang.
of that, like, that's insane if they'd be listening to this podcast.
Wait,
Yeah.
but like this
Of all
would
them?
be the one. It's Wolf.
Well, hold on. This is
Well,
definitely the one.
old-
This is
how old
definitely
of a child were you trying to
Shit,
warn?
Yeah. Anyone less than 13, 14?
Then it's possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
when I say child, I think of like a 7-year-old.
Finish your
just
point.
like,
Come back to
my
me.
my I don't know if he was the actual priest, whatever. He convinced, or so he. This is. I should get to the point before you guys go down the wrong road. But
I was definitely ready for
no.
some diddling.
I admitted to masturbating when I was, I don't know, like 12 or 13.
Okay.
And he convinced, or not convinced me, he was trying to convince me that I had committed infanticide, which is fucking insane.
That sounds like a very intense
Trying to
word.
say you murdered
No.
children. That's
I
what he's
busted a
trying.
nut.
Oh yeah, dude! Wow,
Yeah.
that's like
It
that's
was fucking
bad.
insane, dude. I don't know. And he was like
So
one of those
did you
like
turn
cool
to him
young
and go?
pastors.
Did you turn to him and go? That's fucking insane, bro.
I probably said something stupid and probably went home and whacked off that night. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Probably that
Can you
night.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. What did you do? It's no big deal, you know. Some Hail Marys, we'll get over it. I jerked off. You fucking killed children. You son of a bitch. It is over for you.
You don't. Bullshit.
He was probably doing like the really like consoling, like it's okay, and walking me down this path. And I was like, you're fucking crazy. We don't have to talk about this.
No, let's.
Let's talk about more jacking off.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that
How
comes
many?
up.
Hey, what are your numbers? How many times a week do you jerk off? 3, 4. Those are rookie.
Those are rookie numbers.
Gotta
You got to
get those
build up
up.
those numbers.
That was a
Just
pretty
get
good
those up.
segue. I didn't even mean to do that.
Yeah. Jerking
Director chops.
you already know how to go.
Exactly.
Marty, you're going ham.
You and Delmar
I gotta
are
say.
one.
You're going ham.
Okay, sorry. We're doing.
Frank.
This is why we don't drink. This is why we don't drink. This is why we don't drink.
This is why we drink.
Okay.
This is why we drank.
23rd feature film, Martin Scorsese. We are almost done.
You guys sick yet?
A
We're
Wall
so close
Street.
to the reason that we are doing this podcast.
I don't even want. I'm nervous.
20?
I'm so scared to watch it again.
Hey, did you look into actually renting a theater? Did you look
No.
in?
So
Well,
cheap, dude.
It's like,
It is.
can
It's
you
very
play
cheap.
any movie you want? How does that work?
I don't know.
We gotta look into it.
Yeah.
If we can do one for the Irishman, we gotta.
That'd be crazy.
No, I've been really thinking about
Yeah.
it. It'd be
I can
stupid
see if I
if
can-
we
No one
fucking
responded
did it.
when I sent the ad.
Yeah,
in
I
the
know,
chat.
but I've been
Oh.
thinking about
I
it.
used to work at a theater, and if they're doing it, I can see if they would do it for us and let us play whatever
Dun,
we
dun,
want.
dun.
We're having
What does this
100.
podcast do about bathroom breaks?
This what?
No, this beer.
no,
No, I'm
dude.
not gonna do it.
Just take a big gulp.
And then go pee. We don't care about
Yeah,
bathroom
we'll
breaks.
keep talking.
And we'll get the ball rolling.
I was about to say.
Ish. You can email us at thechroniccanon@gmail.com
Or you can-
mention us at Chronic Cannon on Twitter.
Yes.
And let us know how you feel about this.
Yeah, how do you feel about this?
Is it too much? Do you love it? Should I be drunk every episode?
Make sure to put it in the subject
I'll
line
vote.
so
I'll
we
vote
know.
no
Yeah.
on that.
Huh?
I'm gonna say every movie Frank loves, he has to get drunk.
Yeah,
Oh
Can
boy, I guess.
I like it.
And we're gonna spike Jesse's drinks with like cocaine and Adderall when there's a movie he loves to get him all hyped up. And you know, you guys
I'm already
can
hyped if we're talking about a movie that I love. You don't need
exactly,
to give me
and so
drugs.
is Frank. So then we give you guys some
Real quick,
inebriants.
I don't care. I love this movie.
Yeah,
This is a great movie.
I
rewatched it today. We watched it as a group. When was that? A month ago?
Yeah.
A month and a half
It
ago?
had to be.
Yeah, no,
2 months ago.
That was the last time we recorded.
It was in
Nuh-uh.
August. It was
It was
not
in August.
September.
It was in
That
August.
is crazy.
Crazy. So
that is crazy.
And we tried to record an episode. And I'm gonna take the blame on that. I took the L. I wasn't feeling it that day. Maybe that's why I'm overcompensating today. I'm bringing the heat, baby.
The heat to the heat.
The point is
podcast.
though,
Wow.
we sat on this for a long time. I rewatched it today, and fuck, man, I'm still riding that high from like literally finishing this 6 hours ago.
Well, listen.
I'm still in Wall Street land.
So great timing now that Jordan is back. Speaking of the theater that we both worked at, you were not there during my tenure, but the Wolf of Wall Street.
I'm sorry. He did a big entrance back, and it was good.
He was
I
great.
forget that
I'm
people
back.
can't see things. I didn't want people to think I was just cackling at
can't
you
see.
talking about the
He was
theater.
super
I mean, it's a
funny.
pretty funny situation.
It is
People can see, they just can't see us. He said people can't see things. It's very broad.
That's pretty good. Okay. Theater we worked at. Director,
Yeah.
go.
So Wolf of Wall Street came out during my tenure working there, and that was a big deal when that movie came out. It was a big movie. Martin Scorsese makes big movies.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio
Leonardo.
makes big movies.
He's like the last movie star.
One of them,
Mhm.
yeah, Brad Pitt. Too.
Yep. The boys.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going. So you're at the theater. Big old
Tarantino.
old
Anyway.
movie, baby.
Big old movie, baby. The movie's out. It's Christmas time, baby. Martin Scorsese has the movie, and it created an uproar.
Mhm.
This movie created like such a negative backlash from the audience that was
So
seeing it.
fucking
Within the first 5-10 minutes, there were droves of people that would come out of the theater just upset out of their minds.
He does snort coke out of somebody's ass in the first.
No,
5
he
minutes
he
of the
blows
movie.
it into
blows
her
it in.
asshole.
That's right.
And
That's
think
right.
Is that
about-
what he's doing in that scene?
Yes.
I'm
He's
just not
blowing
paying attention
coke in her
enough.
ass.
It's
Nice.
absurd.
It's
What,
also
too
like
focused on the ass.
But hey, you know what? I'm like, at least this movie is putting all the cards on the table and just laying it all out there
Yes.
right at the front.
Yeah, man.
Surprise! There's a
No.
helicopter crash. There's blowing coke.
Yeah.
It's just like this is what this is.
This is
baby.
all happening, and you're gonna have to be prepared for
Nah,
it.
getting
my
blown.
Ferrari wasn't red; it was white, like
Right.
Don Johnson's Miami Vice.
And that was my wife Naomi blowing me in the Ferrari.
She was the one giving me a blowjob in the Ferrari.
He literally telling the audience to not get hard or whatever it is. Like, don't get your hopes up. That's my wife.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Breaking the fourth wall in the
Knowing that she was in
third
Bud Light
minute.
commercials or something like that, Coors Light, whatever it was.
Miller- she's a Miller Lite girl.
Miller Lite
Miller
girl.
Lite
That's
girl.
right. That's right.
So
But when the
people-
movie comes out, everyone lost their minds about how awful this movie was and how we should be ashamed that we were even playing it and we should be pulling it from our theaters.
I mean, that makes sense for the town.
Oh yeah, certainly it was a very white town.
Republican
Very white town.
Christian.
Also,
oh, yeah.
his last movie was Hugo. Like, if that is
to talk
if that
about
is
that at length.
if that is
Yeah,
your prime association with Martin Scorsese, and then the next you're like, oh, he made another one.
It
This
was
will
only
be
2
fun.
years off the
Leo.
heels.
Oh, it's about a businessman. Okay,
it
let's
is literally
go.
It's called The Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay,
When you
Red
think of
Riding
Wall
Hood's
Street,
about a
you're-
wolf.
I've never even seen the movie.
Thought it was
Wall Street.
animated.
Never seen the movie. I've never seen Wall Street nor
You've
Wall
never
Street.
seen Wall
Money
Street?
never sleeps.
Wall Sweep money never sweeps.
Wall sweeps, money never sweeps.
is actually
Sweepstakes.
fine. Regular Wall Street's good.
I believe it. But
Greed is good.
now I always assume that movie's got to be inappropriate. Oliver Stone, whatever.
Yeah,
So I
it's
hear
probably-
Wall Street, I just assume bad things.
Right.
So I hear
Who's
Wolf of
thinking
Wall Street
good,
even
wholesome
worse.
time at
I
the
don't know.
pictures?
I don't
don't
know.
know.
I mean, the trailer might be misleading.
It's
No, the
not.
trailer uses Black Skinhead by Kanye West. It lays it on
damn.
the table.
Was that the year that came out?
Yeah,
Yes.
man.
Oh,
that was the
topical
first time I ever heard
amazing.
that song.
Cocaine energy.
Ceci is
A
the
genius?
fucking man.
Yeah,
Oh
he was
my
like
God, I didn't
75
know
years
that.
old when he made
No,
this
no,
movie.
no,
Fucking
no,
head,
no,
let's
no,
clap.
no, no.
Sassy.
He was not 75 years old.
70s, like 70 something years
No,
old.
dude, he's like 70 something.
He was in his 70s when he made this.
bro.
In 2013, that means he's in his 80s now.
Oh, was it 13? I thought it was
God
12.
damn, he's 77.
I'm stupid.
So that
Is it-
means he would have been 70. Jesse was pretty much right. Our bad,
Well,
Jesse.
It's okay.
Second
I
time
refuse
today.
to apologize.
Probably like fifth time
Apologize.
today.
I refuse to apologize.
I'm prejudiced against Italians.
Yeah, what's fair line in Goodfellas, and why is it? It's
Okay.
just prejudice against Italians.
It's almost without a doubt. I heard she's prejudiced against Italians.
It's just like why? It's the best.
It's amazing.
Okay.
So, yeah,
People are pissed.
everyone hates this movie. We had to put a disclaimer on everybody who bought
Really?
a ticket. Like, I would have to verbally tell anyone who came up and was like, I'd like to see The Wolf of Wall Street. I'd be like, all right, now, listen. I'm obligated to tell you this. Leonardo DiCaprio blows cocaine into a
You
woman's
did not
asshole.
say
I just had to be straight. I had to level with him.
Listen,
And there were
Listen to me.
plenty of people, like, I didn't
Wait,
think
what did you
that would
warn
turn
them?
people. Just like, this is a very inappropriate movie, like, explicitly sexual, explicitly, like, graphic with its language and, you know, its drug use and all the others. It's a very hedonistic movie. And there were plenty of people that were like, you know what? Okay, no, I
Sign
don't want to
me
see
up.
that. I'd rather not. And then plenty of people also that were like, okay, yeah, obviously, I know what I'm getting myself into.
It is the third most fucks in a movie.
It's a lot of fucks. But when you cast Jonah Hill in your movie,
569.
What
in
is-
your 3-hour fucking Wall Street movie?
What are 2 and 1? You can't drop a stat.
One
like
is the
that.
fucking curse
two
one.
is fuck, a documentary about the word. So that's like almost cheating. But
That
then,
is cheating.
But then
the one-
swear
So it's
net,
number 2.
and then swear net the movie. The
Is cheating.
Trailer
So it's
Park
number
Boys.
1.
The Trailer Park Boys did make a movie specifically to break the record.
So it's
I
number
think
1.
that's cheating.
So it's like number one genuine amount of fucks to give.
It's the people's champ, if you will.
People's most fucks a movie's ever given. You guys, you can't disrespect that.
No.
You're right. You can't. Never thought of it like that.
Cracking
On the mic,
myself
bro.
up.
Crack up on the mic. We
Yeah.
want to hear
Uncut
it.
Gems is number 4.
Yeah,
We've had to have done this on the
Uncut
pod.
Gems is high.
No, because
500
that's news to me, buddy.
506
Damn.
times. And that
I'm gonna
ratio,
fucking come. I'm
that's,
gonna fucking come.
Holy shit,
that's
I'm gonna come.
3.75 fucks in a minute.
Yeah.
And Wolf of Wall Street's 3.16.
When you said
Jesus.
the most
Those are
fucks,
rabbit
I thought you
numbers.
guys were referring to like the most
sex?
sex. Yeah.
No, no, no,
Which there's a decent amount of sex
There's
in
a
this movie.
decent.
Okay.
Oh,
the,
no.
the hotel
Yeah.
plane.
Oh, yeah. No, there's a decent amount of sexual
That
content in
shit's
this movie,
the
no doubt.
best.
No, the best scene is
Who's got
when
the
she
be-
doesn't give it to him.
Oh yeah,
Withholds.
but that's not sex.
Exactly.
Who's got the
That's-
best Brooklyn accent here?
Well, okay. But listen, I've always said the best sex scene in movie history is the blow up photography scene. And that's not a sex scene.
Okay.
So it's like, in theory, it's the dance. It's,
Okay. Who's got the best Brooklyn accent? I don't know if I can do.
I'm just gonna ask you to say "come for me, daddy."
okay, Margot Robbie's got the best accent.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but us.
You know what I'm saying
Us.
here.
Oh, here? I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll try.
The Wolf.
How do you Brooklyn? No.
You can only do
Bastards
Boston.
departed.
You can only do your best
Wolf-
British
The Wolf
accent.
of Wall
I'm
Street.
the best fucking person at doing a Boston accent.
The Wolf of Wall Street.
Everybody
I'm from
thinks I'm
Brooklyn.
from
What do you want from me, huh?
Boston.
Oh my god.
I'm from Brooklyn.
Cool Hunting is my favorite movie. I fucking love it when he cries.
Fucking kill me, man. This piece of
It's
fuck.
not your
Just
fault.
kill me.
Not you too. Not you too. What a good movie. All right, hold on. How do you do a Brooklyn? Jordy.
I just
No,
think
say
about.
the line.
Wait, hold on.
Like
Hold
to
on,
come
hold
from
on,
me,
hold on,
Daddy.
hold on.
Oh, it's pretty good.
I think about
We're
fucking.
not going to be friends.
Oh,
We're not.
say "come for me, daddy."
Oh, no.
Damn it.
Come for me, daddy.
When I think of Brooklyn accents, I just think about do the right thing.
All I think is, hey, I'm walking here. Hey,
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm
I'm
from
walking
Brooklyn. I'm
in.
gonna kick your fucking ass, man.
You want a fucking din in your hood?
Is this bad? Are we bad?
Are we back?
Are we ever good?
Yes.
We should be bad because the people in this movie are little naughty people.
That's
true.
That's why
They're
Jesse had to
Well,
fucking warn them.
We just got to say off the gate that Scorsese condones all the acts of all his protagonists.
Yeah, he is his protagonist, and you should treat him as such.
This movie, it is crazy to me. Watching it today, I was like, it's actually fucking absurd that this was a controversial movie. Beyond just your theater, like critics and people are going ape shit. Like this movie's a problem because fucking he's condoning it. It's like, did you watch it?
No, well, the problem with the movie is the ending of the movie looks right at you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like it looks right
You're
at you.
here.
Yeah, you're here. You're watching
I'm
it.
sorry.
And you're
Are we
having a good
jumping
time.
ahead? Are we talking about the end?
We
Let's
always
just
do.
We
talk about it.
haven't talked
We
about the
spoil
beginning
movies
other
on
than the
this
first
podcast.
5 minutes.
Listen, one of the best ending shots of all time. I stand by
Yeah,
that.
no, I agree.
It's pretty great.
When it panned to the fucking I mean the pen moment. Dope. Pen. Somebody's pen. Somebody's pen. But when it pans to the audience and they're all just like leaning in listening, I was like,
It's you.
I can't. How? You fucking genius.
Yeah.
How is that movie gonna end? I don't know.
You're welcome.
That's how.
Yeah.
Fucking brilliant.
No, okay.
It's
Because
just
listen,
like,
listen.
so you're sitting there and you're gonna sit there and be like, oh, he loves these people. This is all good stuff.
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking stupid?
Well,
2013.
I don't know. I feel
naive
like
pricks.
you know, maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I'm dying.
But when you know, maybe it's just that it's so good that it's hard to watch Martin Scorsese fucking stroke his dick for 3 hours. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, I'm tired of this. Put it away.
Hey,
this movie
also,
sucks.
Listen, we've talked about plenty of times that Martin Scorsese is the king of the headspace. He knows how to put the audience in the head of their protagonist.
He's always true to the character.
Very. And in
okay.
this case, especially true. This movie
yeah.
follows the energy of Jordan Belfort, scene to scene, moment to moment.
Literally scene to
a
scene.
T.
We're gonna get to a couple where I made note of it,
Yeah.
where it's like
We love a good note.
I'm full of notes, Frank.
Don't take me
No,
apart.
we will get it, and it is a scene to scene thing where you can tell you are directly in the head, not only the headspace, but Frank said a word earlier, the temporal space of him.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
as his like
Getting quoted
his
on my own
character
pod.
doesn't particularly progress that much, but you're in the
He
arc.
really doesn't.
No,
As,
he's
but
one
as you're
note.
in the arc, like the story arc, and like how things are going in his life, the tone of the scene changes based on that. Not just the scene, but the whole like conglomerate
Like
sections.
feeling of the film.
Oh yeah, I think
Like the scenes that suddenly drag when he's like
I
not
was
on
about to
fucking
say,
drugs.
well, no, I mean some of the scenes that do drag while he is on drugs.
Oh,
Can we
that's
get?
true.
Can we jump to that or no?
We
well,
don't
no,
do
we
plot
don't do
anymore.
plot. We
We're
just
fucking
go.
over
Okay,
it.
well, so the scene I made note, like the
Yeah.
scene when, and I remember
Yeah.
a lot of people complaining about how that point in the movie, or this point in the movie, was when the movie started turning to where it like dragged a little bit and they lost interest. Was when he was on the lemon, whatever. What it was
the literal best scene in like movie
no,
history.
exactly. I love it, and but like people are like, oh yeah, that scene dragged.
How does that scene? That is literally
I
what I
love
think
it.
of. When I think of that movie, I think of that scene.
It's
And-
the
In
scene.
the theater, I saw it at
and-
least 3 times. I fucking loved this
He
movie when it
says
came
something
out.
in that scene when he's crawling that is like the most, I don't know, like humbling but infantilizing. He literally says it's the kid makes it look so easy. He's
Yes.
talking about his kid crawling, and that's like such a
He literally says right before he's like, "Do it like Haley." Or
Do it
whatever
no
the kid's-
Skylar. Do it like Skylar.
Skylar,
Do it
yeah,
like
it's like, the
Skylar.
kid makes it look so easy, and he's literally saying like he can't even fucking crawl. One of the most like base human instincts to do because he's so fucking detached from humanity and whatever. That's big as fuck. But either way, the whole tone of that scene is insane. It goes and it slows down just like his world is slowing down, not just in that moment, but that's the scene where his world flips upside down and his life now needs to drag out. It's
Yeah.
no longer this like long
not the party.
or this it's no longer this fucking hodgepodge of having fun and doing coke. It's now Leo, not Jordan, because I'm Jordan.
I'm
No,
Frank.
I'm Marty. Oh shit!
Who are you?
Wait, I'm
What is
Frank.
this? I'm Jesse.
Brandon.
Thank you.
And I'm Marty. No,
Yeah,
he's Marty.
but no, it's like
Frank.
that's now the point in the
I'm
movie.
Jesse.
Brandon.
I'm Jordan. I'm Marty.
Good.
But that's the point where like things have to become prolonged for him. No, nothing is like frenetic anymore because
Right.
yeah, I don't know. That scene is
Because that's when you
Stands
find out the wiretap. Okay, hold on. Everybody talks about the fucking moment of the ludes hitting when he's at the country club. The speech starts to slur. He's got to crawl to the car. Like literal grade A physical comedy, sure. But I feel like that's the famous bit from the movie that people talk about.
Right.
You see clips of and whatever. And like Leo's acting's incredible for
Feels
sure.
like Buster Keaton.
For sure. Brilliant. But when he goes to the house,
When he gets to the house.
I'm literally howling at the screen.
Yeah.
Jonah also just fucked up. Jonah,
I
fucked
got
up.
the phone.
Shout.
I got the 2 million. I have.
No, I'm on a phone.
Yeah. No, it's because he's smiling before, excited, and when he get off, and then no, I fucking lose
And
it.
he's like, no, get out of the phone, the FBI.
How many times do you think they had to shoot the scene of like the ham or whatever it was?
Oh,
like,
going down
was
his
he-
throat?
No,
Oh my
I'm saying
God.
going like as he's giving him CPR or whatever
he
shitty
pulls it
derivation.
out?
No, like just splatters
I
on
love
his
how
face.
like there's no there is
least
no
30.
motivation for him to eat that food. It's just he
He's
just starts
stressed.
doing it.
He's stressed.
I know.
Jesse.
No,
He's
it's fucking-
fucked up.
and
He's
then
like, I gotta do
the scene is really scary when that because Margot Robbie's response to what's happening and
Yeah.
DiCaprio's like literal inability to understand what's going on.
He
Just
passes out.
to the Popeye on the TV, perfectly matched out with the Coke and the spinach. It's literally like the most amazing synchronicity of filmmaking I've ever seen.
Ever.
It's the most powerful moment, and also leading up to that, talking about the headspace thing, you buy when he's like, I don't know how I did it, but I got home.
Right.
I like, and then the whole fucking scene ends with the perfect fucking like,
Punchline.
oh, you didn't, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But that's the
Yeah.
other thing
Fucked
is
up
that
your car.
proves because we're with it. We didn't think that he fucking
Yeah.
didn't do it. Like
time.
we're fucking like,
Big
oh,
We're like,
shit.
yeah, fuck yeah, you did, Jordan.
Big.
But it's
Good
more
for you, Leo.
proof positive.
Win as
What was that?
Scorsese's king of
always
the
I
headspace.
could.
Yep.
Cut it out.
What was that? Oh, I mean, I've listened to a couple Chronic Canons where like
Couple.
people who haven't seen the movie can like get a feel for like what the movie is like and like how it goes. You have to have seen this movie to understand anything that has been mentioned in the past 30
Oh
minutes.
yeah,
I
no
mean,
question.
fuck
Who
him.
hasn't though? Is this like one of Sessy's like most
I don't- this was
culturally
the
relevant movie?
I
It might
think
be
it is.
his most culturally
is.
relevant.
It was
movie.
the only one that I had seen prior to starting the Sassy series.
This at least now at this point in time, it for sure is.
Was the
It's
previous
also-
one Goodfellas?
Probably. I think those are probably his two most still
The
to
Departed
this day.
one, Best
Departed
Picture.
like is up there, but not like not
I
everybody.
don't know if it's like a pop culture thing
like
or more so like a
Goodfellas
dad
and
thing.
Wolf of Wall Street
Yeah.
100% are where it's like everybody knows.
And
what
are
these
they not?
fucking
I mean,
are.
you guys talk about it like once over every podcast. Is it not the same story?
They're very similar.
Like
but
Henry and Jordan.
getting sucked in their world, kind of being like
Hub-
semi-incident
hubristic.
people at the start, but they get so swept up
Yeah.
so fast. Their hubris is what destroys them. I mean, that's every fucking
Yeah,
Sassy
same.
guy.
Not.
And he even ends
I'm
up becoming a
forgetting-
rat.
Right. Ends up becoming a rat, both addicted to a lot of drugs and getting too deep away from the thing that you're even supposed to be being debaucherous about. Yeah, they're very, very similar movies, but I think that's just proof. I think Sassy clearly has some need to tell this story again and again. And it's like he finds new ways to tap into it.
I agree.
And what, especially in this decade, especially with like how the consciousness of America is has been evolving, especially at that time too. That's right after Obama's second reelection.
Yeah.
But I was just putting that together, not even realizing. But it's like this actual critique at like capitalism, everybody, and it's pretty fucking nice.
He does it 4 times.
that's
I
heavy.
see it. I see it 4 times. I mean, the protagonist is the same every time, but I see this story 4 times, starting with Goodfellas, and then I see it in Casino. I see it here, and then I see it in The Irishman too. This sort of like you're wrapped up in it, you're in the fun. This is the rise, and then each of them takes the fall a different way. I feel like
Where the world always catches up to them.
yeah, I feel like Goodfellas and The Wolf of Wall Street, the fall is like the softest. It's like, yeah, you're a rat, you're not the coolest guy, and now you're in witness protection, you're doing whatever the fuck you need to do. But like Casino and Irishman, it is the harshest fall where you're like, oh, people die. Oh, you're alone. Death is real. Got it. Cool. This is the crash and
I don't
burn.
know about Casino if it comes to that character, if he gives a fuck about anything that actually happened at the end of the movie.
True.
Like I don't know if I get that from
But
him.
you don't
Okay.
think Tommy does?
But the reason
Well, Tommy's dead.
But the
Exactly.
okay, wait. But the reason I think those 4 are connected, or it's even beyond that, because everything you just described could actually be applied to Age of Innocence. I just realized, like almost verbatim.
We talked about that. The Age
Right.
of Innocence and Goodfellas are similar.
But the reason I think those 4 matter is even the way he's telling the story is similar. It's got a similar energy, the same type of voiceover, like fourth wall breaking,
Like-
where it's like super hype and quote unquote fun, trying to pull you into the world, and then eventually like falls apart. Like those 4 are beyond thematically similar. They're
Yeah.
stylistically the most similar of
Yeah.
these films. But I think that's intentional.
Well,
of
yeah.
even himself being like, I need to pull you in. I gotta whip out the tricks that you all go bananas about, and just like because maybe you'll get it this
But
time.
he said it before. Sorry. He said it before that like he he wants to like portray it the way that he was enticed. I was with Jesse and we watched this like behind the scene. We watched this. He showed me the YouTube video for the guy who did like who did the shot, the long shot through the Copacabana or whatever, and about how Marty was like, we need the chairs. The flying tables. He's like, we need the flying tables, and you need to see that. You need to see how big they are because that's what they always did to us. And like that's something I remember so much from my childhood that like you have to put it in there, like you have to see it. And it's like you get enticed the same way that young Marty was enticed. It's just like he can make it.
I do think a big part of anybody who views this as not being that falls for it. That's like this is celebrating. It's like I think you're not realizing
that
you're projecting
projecting
that onto the film because you're connecting to it.
I think that's an interesting point.
I think it's a denial thing. I think people don't realize.
Can you
it.
fall for it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
What's not enticing to some degree
Yeah,
about
but-
this in like a theoretical level of being
the
like
good things about it that aren't hurting
Yeah.
other
financial
people.
freedom, like you live this like the life you want, whatever.
What you want,
and
you get.
like you get to do whatever you want. It's like
So you mentioned this as like a critique of capitalism. I don't necessarily disagree, but like I think it's a little bit more meta than that. I think it's all, and you, Brandon, mentioned it's all these stories and all of his movies. It's about a guy being hubristic and not reading the writing on the wall.
right.
Yeah. And I
I'm not fucking
think
leaving.
I think that is so
Yeah.
obvious everywhere that
Yes.
it's like it's hard to fall for. You can fall for like the contextual things, like especially when you're talking about money in this movie because it's about money. That's especially in America makes it so easy to fall for it.
Exactly.
But I think the narrative is a little bit more meta than that.
I don't disagree. I think
okay.
I think that's why Sessy's the king. It's working on all these levels, baby.
Big time.
That's not something I ever pulled from this movie, and this is a movie that I haven't returned to.
What?
Like the capitalism takedown and like all that. Like it wasn't something I was thinking about in 2013. Like at that time, like I was
we were
watching
young.
it for the characters and for the filmmaking, and that was pretty much it. But like, I think at the same time, like this time, it played almost like I don't know if you guys remember watching it, but every so often I'd look over and just be like, guys, this is just kind of scary. Like
It
this
is
is
a
just
little
this
scary.
is like actually kind of horrifying. And when you frame it from that lens, the like only movie I could think about was Salo or the 120 Days of Sodom. And I was like, I can't stop thinking about this movie. And it's an infamous movie for being absolutely fucking disgusting and
sure
revolting.
is.
And it is. It's a very revolting, disgusting movie, but it's a very powerful movie in its comment on
Yes.
government systems and what they can do with the amount. And if
Power
anything,
and fascism.
John Waters said it best when he said Salo is a movie about the pornography of power and about how power can take and like how like that's you can take that and like look at it from a glorified point of view
Yes.
whilst also doing atrocious things to
and
all
this
these
is the
people.
pornography of money.
Yeah. And
Thank
the
you,
way
brother.
that the American system like fucks people over in a similar, less literal, like because it's through their money and their bank account,
Right,
and
right,
their
right.
mortgage or whatever the fuck.
But that's everything here.
Brandon, what did you say? I read you wrote a little like blurb review about it, and you said something about like Sessy's always talking about power and blood, and this is like the one spot where money and blood, and this is the one spot that money is there, but the blood just never happens.
Okay, Jordan, get out of my fucking head
I'm sorry.
because I literally was about to bring that up.
Perfect.
I didn't remember
You're
writing
the director.
Kneel before me.
my power. I didn't know I wrote it in my fucking review, but I don't know if it was after Casino. It was after one of his movies that was big in the killing, and when he was asked about the excessive killing in the movie, Martin said, Sassy said.
Wait, who said?
Sassy said. Sassy said himself. He said, "If where there's money, there's blood. If I got to show you the money, then I got to show you the blood." And I think
It's
that
Casino.
I think it was Casino because I think that's the one that he got the most rip for in terms of brutality because you see a guy get his head beat in.
It gets intense.
People, but not,
Got
not
your head
to-
in the fucking vice.
Sessy's movies are like so tame compared to like so much shit that is like
Well-
still even like publicly.
Because
that's
they're
a-
hitting such a wide audience.
I agree.
Yeah.
No,
And
there you go.
being
There
in
you
It's
go.
not a horror
headspace, they're
movie.
that much more intense. If
Yeah.
you're actually
Yeah,
feeling the
yeah.
emotional value of all these things
Yeah,
instead
yeah,
of just seeing the images, which are gross, but if you're feeling something on top of it, that makes it
Big
that
I
much
always
worse.
think of fucking Goodfellas when he first sees the guy shot and he's running down the street and it has like the operatic music playing kind of in the back, or the Italian music in the background, and he's like, somebody shot me, and he's just got a lot of blood. It's like, that's his thesis statement. He's like, this is like, it's real.
Yep.
It doesn't feel like a movie moment. It's like, this is intense, this is pain, this is real life,
Yeah.
and it is dramatic, and everything has a
Exactly.
consequence.
Yep.
And I think
There's moments like that abundant in The Irishman.
with the Wolf of Wall Street, it's important that you don't see the blood because of the headspace. Jordan Belfort is the king of the castle. He is on top. He's at the top of that
has a
fucking
chair.
tower. He has a chair. Look at him.
High concept Borat joke,
Do you think like
He has
the
a chair.
the what
Borat
is
2 out this
Said
weekend.
king of-
What is it?
We're
The wolf care-
sponsored by. Hold on, we'll take a quick sponsor break. Everybody needs to. This summer,
Stop,
we've
stop.
been missing movie theaters, haven't we? So, what better way to celebrate America in this election than Borat 2?
Just say my
Paid
wife,
for
please.
by my wife.
Thank you.
Paid for by
End
Sacha
read.
Baron
End
Cohen.
read. Director says end read.
I'm sorry, I don't know. Keep going. Sacha Baron Cohen should have been
Just
John
wear your
Dujardin.
mask, okay?
That's all I'm gonna
Just
say.
wear your mask.
All right, go on.
I forgot.
I'm sorry. He has his chair. He's king of the castle.
Okay,
No
so
blood.
Jordan Belfort's at the top. And there's the saying that the wolf cares little of the opinion of the sheep, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So he's getting the money, he's getting the power, he's getting the goods from the people that are lower than him,
Yep.
and he doesn't care about them.
Penny stocks.
So you don't see
Pink sheets.
you don't see the blood because Jordan doesn't see the blood. In these other movies, your hands are on the money. Your hands are on the money. You're with these people.
'Cause this
These are
money's,
people
like,
that are
not
on the
real.
ground. This
Yeah.
is like the first time you see the money and you're at the top.
Well, because this is why
And
it's
there's no blood
scary,
there.
Because you're
Holy fuck.
not
Brandon.
having to do any of the dirty work
Yep.
like physically.
Yeah.
No, you're just enjoying the,
It's white,
the
it's
embellishments.
white collar crime.
Well,
And that-
there is that scene where they fuck that guy up for fucking around in Jordan's
And
apartment.
Yeah.
tell me that's not like not just scary, but it's weird. Like
very weird.
you're uncomfortable.
It's super
You're like,
weird.
why are you
Oh, and
doing
then when
this?
he brings up the fact that Donnie might have been at a male strip club or something like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
He's like,
Donnie
what? I
was-
get
What the
drunk. I
fuck?
like to dance.
No, here's the scariest thing about that scene is that you know that Leo's character is being a fuck, but they make you like him so much and they frame the scene in a way it's like, yeah, this guy might have wronged him, and you've been loving
Right.
this guy so much for this whole movie that you're like, oh yeah, you maybe rough him up a little bit, and then you see it's like, oh no, this is fucked. This is so fucked.
That is literally it. I think
Framing.
the weird thing comes from like the when he's sitting on the couch and he's they're having that little like that meek talk. I'm like, fucking get him. He turned on
Yeah.
us. And the moment he punches him and the blood splatters, I'm like, nah, why'd you do that?
Because
Yep.
Sassy knows how to make you feel violence,
He's-
and that's why people don't like it when his movies, because it actually affects them.
He's a
Yep.
fucking kid.
Which that brings
this
up a
movie fucking rules.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
love Wolf of Wall Street.
Now, I was gonna say I was nervous going into this watch because this is a movie I've always loved in the past, and like I was nervous that I was one of those movies that like is better left in the memory and like the
Yeah.
fondness, but
Because
and
it's such a
especially off-
culturally like accepted movie.
Yeah, and the
It
fact
makes
that
you
we've
think.
talked about plenty of times now that we're getting toward the end, the Sassy fatigue is real when you do these movies in one order. Like they're very similar thematically in a way that like sometimes it feels like it's just retreading the same ground, like skipping a record going over and over and over again. But I think it's interesting that this movie was given to him by DiCaprio.
Makes so much fucking sense.
Oh yeah, big time. This is like a
I see
showcase
it.
for his talent.
He was
this
just
is
like,
honestly,
everything I can do.
I kind of think this might actually be his best performance. Like
The way
I know
of the future.
it's up there, but
The
this
way of the,
the
future,
future.
Jesse.
Way to the future.
This goes in direction
Way
where
to
like DiCaprio is
Way to
not
the
somebody
future.
who can make me
to
laugh.
the
Well, I didn't realize he could this well until now. It's almost like his Rupert Pupkin.
See,
Rupert Pumpkin.
Rupert Pupkin.
Mr. Pipkin.
It's Pupkin.
So fucking from fuck, dude. Yeah,
I don't know.
some
This
sexy
is
synergy right
that's
there.
if De Niro. So fucking. But they
Raging
weren't back
Bull
to
is
back-
Aviator.
right? But they weren't back to back, which
No.
is a bummer.
Yeah.
But still, Raging Bull's Aviator, and this is
King of Comedy.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah,
Yeah.
Marty's
So different movies, but either way.
But fucking just
And hey, real quick-
viewing from the De
Yeah,
Niro
yeah.
DiCaprio.
Also, just because we haven't talked about her yet, and I know it just is all coming as a hodgepodge of information, just like the energy of the movie. Thelma is outstanding.
Oh my gosh.
Schumacher.
Okay. Yes, but I need to
Always.
bring up one
cut-
edit
one
that I was
cut,
like
let's hear it.
literally like,
Why?
what?
Well, I wanna
and I
hear it,
remember it, and then it happened again today. I was like, I don't get it. It's when he pulls up to the Spike Jones fucking
Yeah.
the
penny stock place.
the
I don't remember
penny
what it's
stock
called.
place. I don't remember either. His car pulls up. It does like a kind of fade where the whole screen looks like
I
it melts,
remember
and then it's
that,
just like the
yeah.
same shot, and he's walking to the door.
Well,
I was like,
I think that
what?
if anything, you
It's
could have
just like
probably. This
you-
might just be me being a stupid cinephile asshole, but you could maybe explain that away as that's him stepping into the wicked world, like transitioning one world to another.
Yeah,
No,
I was
Frank's
thinking
just
that.
nodding his
I
head
was
saying
thinking
no.
It
that.
just looks like a bad
Well,
edit.
it
She
probably-
has like won a movie now,
Okay.
where it's just like, what are you thinking right there?
I mean,
Thelma?
maybe there's a choice there, but maybe it's not a good choice.
I imagine it's like
it reminded me of the Bringing Out the Dead with the triple chop for no reason.
That
it was
was
just
worse.
like,
You
yeah,
know
that was
you
work.
even.
Don't
Marty.
talk about Chop. You don't know fucking shit about Chop.
You don't know fucking shit about Chop. We're going out.
I'm gonna chop your fucking credit card.
Captain Todd. Captain Todd. We're going to the left.
Is that the perfect segue to what's your favorite Jonah Hill line in
Yeah.
Wolf of Wall
Yeah.
Street?
What's
Yeah,
your
baby.
and then you also have to say 3 reasons why you think it's the best performance of the decade, maybe.
I haven't. It's a bit.
Okay.
So we got. What you doing there? Oh, I'm just feeding my fish. I had a little bit of free time. Oh, you had free time. Okay. Well, carry on. I'm cocksucking. Nursery day. And then he fucking eats the fish. It's literally the greatest thing. On
everybody,
cocksucking.
listen up.
So the line is
You better look
on
it up. I hope it is
cocksucking.
cocksucking.
I think it's
I wanna
on
confirm this.
cocksucking new issue day.
I hope
New
it's
issue day.
cocksucking new issue day.
I just typed, you guys.
You just type cocksucking.
Cocksucking day.
No. Way worse. World Street Hour.
What?
I meant to type Wolf of Wall Street. I typed World Street Hour.
And that's a laptop. There's no autocorrect, buddy.
I don't think I'm okay.
Are the lemons getting to you, Steve Madden?
Woman shoes. That's up there. I
That whole
messaged.
scene is incredible too. Like that slow mo shot of Jonah coming out of the
I fucking messaged you guys earlier that I think the greatest line ever written, possibly.
Oh, God.
But then you reminded me it probably was improvised by Jonah. So I
Yeah.
guess it is my favorite Jonah line. I'm not gonna let someone else fuck my cousin. I'm gonna fuck my cousin, out of respect. Out of respect. When he
Fucking
said,
A.
out of respect,
That
I
is one of my
lost
favorite
it.
parts. But I do think that maybe like the she's is like,
Jordan, you gotta fuck her.
You know, okay, it's crazy because and I hate to talk about this app. You know, I won't even talk about this app. But shortly,
What's the line? Cocksucking what day?
new issue
Cocksucking
day.
new
New
issue
issue
day.
day.
Shortly after we watched The Wolf of Wall Street, there's an app where people like to record short videos, and it's very popular. Something that went viral, like a bunch of people started using this soundbite where it was how much do you say you make in a week? 72,000. You show me
a pay stub for
you show me
$72,000.
you show me a pay stub for $70,000, and I'll quit my job right now. And then he does it, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, here's the thing, I fucking quit."
The quote on New Issue Day, on cocksucking
Yes!
motherfucking New Issue Day. This is what you do.
listen up.
The way he's doing it when he's shaking Leo, smoke crack with me. Smoke crack with me, man.
Come on,
You just
bro.
know that this is because that's another thing that I do love about this. The fact that Jonah's in this movie is Jonah has always, from like early interviews that I've seen of him, cited
Martin Scorsese.
Goodfellas is like
Oh,
his
yeah.
favorite movie of all time, and you can tell just by the fact
He
that
knows.
he's doing the Pesci in this movie. Like
He is
he's
the
being
Pesci.
that role, like that unhinged, crazy
The whole
person.
bit with John Barenthal, where he's for no reason being an asshole
Oh,
both times.
He's asking him
yeah.
to apologize.
Yeah. He's like, "What? I call my wife 3 times a day. Has Brad called to
Well,
apologize?"
see,
yet?"
you know what? Jonah Hill is one of those people that's like, he's got what it takes to be a cocksucking piece of shit in the frame reference of this
Yeah.
movie.
You guys.
But he he doesn't have like he's still a normal person. He's not like with the aspirations of Jordan Belfort. He just is there to exude his power over people.
Yeah.
He's literally just like, haha, I literally can do this and there's nothing you can do about it. In any other situation, you'd probably kick my ass. But because I have all the power and all the money, you literally can do nothing. And I'm just gonna flash that.
Gets
in
to
your
his
face.
head too.
Oh, big time. And then
I'm never eating Benihana again. I don't care whose birthday it is. Fucking A.
Benihana, Benny fucking Hanna.
So, speaking of which, so Scorsese gets away with like the voiceover shit, like
Better than anyone
anyone
ever.
ever.
yeah, because
And,
you're
like,
never supposed to do that.
exactly. I thought it was like a faux pas, and it's like all of his best movies are like it's like 90% voiceover, and somehow I love it. And I
Because
noticed
he gets you in the headspace.
In a way, it's
I agree.
novelistic.
No, it definitely
That's
is.
kind of how it operates to me, and that's why they're always so long, and that's why it always
Yeah.
feels like they're all epics in a way.
I
It
find
feels
like
like the end of a chapter when he does it. It's like, all right, now we're leading on to the next thing.
Yeah, and
What's
I also
your
think
bit?
that it adds to your like the unreliable narrator thing. You know what I mean? Like having adding to the headspace part of it.
The
because
narrator-
it's literally putting
yeah.
words in your head. It's literally talking for
The
you.
narrator
guiding you
is the
into it.
character.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
in a way is kind of cheating. But even when you think about
Sure.
the fact that he fourth wall breaks, and that's like a big style choice, you know, and that
yeah.
doesn't happen like constantly in this movie, but it happens enough.
it happens more in this movie than any movie he's done, right?
Yeah, like I remember thinking in Goodfellas
Does he
when
really
he does it
ever?
at the end. Well, in Goodfellas at the
But
end,
he only does
in
it
the
in the
courtroom.
court.
Yeah,
scene.
yeah.
Yeah,
You're right,
and I
you're right.
remember thinking like I kind of wish that was something he did throughout, and that's why I almost thought that I'd like Wolf of Wall Street better than Goodfellas, which I do. But I think that it's a hot take. But I
So
think that
stupid.
I think that that's why it works better in this movie because it is that much more self-aware of the narration, and that's ironically something that before picking Scorsese to direct this movie, I guess the writer was thinking of how to write this with the fact that Scorsese was already signed on and was like, I think that this calls for it being in
Sure.
that style. And they consulted with Scorsese before actually carrying out that script. And he was like, yeah, go for it.
I was thinking about like this whole style that he does with a lot of voiceover. It's like a chronology of a period of somebody's life.
Yeah.
And sometimes it makes the scenes that should be really, really emotional not hit because you haven't been able to like be invested in extended moments
Yeah.
with the person. I noticed that in Casino a lot, where the whole James Woods saga,
Yeah,
well, it's like James Woods was good.
he is good in the role,
But-
but
You tend to, like, I like Casino a lot, but I tend to like I only halfway care about that saga. I only have, but I don't
Well,
think.
but see, I think that's the art that the character halfway cares about it. And that's part of the thing. Like you can
Yeah,
always, you
no, I
can
get that.
always
that's the worst
explain-
part about the fucking
Yeah,
Sassy.
it's like
Yeah.
you can have your
Explain
reasons
it
for not
away.
liking things, but it's like that's the whole thing. Is it is
I
in
agree,
the character's
but either
motif.
way,
It is a matter of preference. Welcome to the Crown of Canon's favorite word,
Jordan.
preference.
I'm Frank.
I'm Jesse.
I'm Brandon.
Get the fuck
I'm
out.
just
preference.
directing this shit. What's up? So
Marty himself.
Marty himself. But no, I found that in Wolf of Wall Street, he does it pretty good. Where it's like some of the emotional parts that. What is his wife's name?
Teresa.
Teresa.
Naomi.
No, his
the
sorry, his
first-
Oh,
first
the
wife.
first wife.
Like,
yeah.
His
you
real
see
wife.
her in
Fuck Naomi.
2.5 scenes, and then. Well, no, you see her in 2.5 scenes, and then Leo is doing blow off of Naomi's chest in the back of a cab,
Yep.
and she pulls her off, and you're like, oh, this scene is actually like super emotional, and it hits. Where sometimes like that type of thing in another movie in the same vein may not, because it's got this vignette isn't the right word, but like,
But he does operate in an almost vignette style.
Yeah,
I don't know what else
exactly.
to
Yeah,
call
yeah.
it.
I don't
It's
either.
bursts
Well, because he
of
doesn't
short
have plot.
scenes. Right.
He just uses things to emphasize character, moments of life, you know, basically, and a trajectory of a character's journey.
Exactly.
Especially through a job or like something like that. A lot of the time,
It does.
How
It
that
feels
carries
like
them.
bits. Like here's this bit. Here's the dramatic bit. So vignette is a much cleaner, better way to
so
say it.
people always say that like Scorsese's kind of like cheap with that kind of stuff.
Fuck
and to
that.
them, I say, yeah, fuck them. This shit slaps.
It slaps.
big
It
time.
slaps.
That scene is really fucking good, and I actually think it's because she's Christina Mignani. How do you say her?
Well, I
fucking
can't
name?
remember.
Milian?
So fucking-
I don't know
Christina
why it was,
Milian?
but she reminded me of Henry Hill's first
Oh,
wife.
yeah.
But they just look kind of similar. I think they both have bangs.
Karen?
No, the first.
Karen,
The first.
Karen.
Isn't it is Karen the first? No, Karen's the second wife.
Wait, no, Karen's his only wife.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, no. I'm
He's
thinking,
got a
I mean, he
girlfriend.
goes and fucks around with the girl.
Right,
that
He
you
has a
think- Yeah,
girlfriend.
my bad.
That's right.
Is it the other girl I'm thinking of?
I think so.
She's
'Cause
got
I
like the
see
straight
that
across
yeah,
bangs.
yeah, yeah.
Karen.
Karen.
It's Kristen-
Karen.
It's Kristen
Give me the gun,
Milioti.
Milioti.
But she's really fucking good in it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
she's the
Great.
way when she throws her whole body to slam the door
Yep.
and like kind of falls on the cab. I was like, I felt that.
Yeah.
I've noticed more and more recently. I'm like, physicality, I think, is what hits me harder with acting.
And you know-
it's like if I believe you're physically there, like words, emotions, whatever. Now I'm real attracted to like that. And the way she throws her whole body, I'm like, you're so devastated right now. This
I
hurts.
can't know
I'm gonna
for
pee
sure.
again, I'm
I
sorry.
can't know for sure if
Sick
that.
bastard.
I'm drinking.
Pee your pants. I dare you.
Don't.
You ain't cool
Do not
unless
pee.
you pee your pants. I bet you that moment was something that was like kind of a mistake. It wasn't intentionally supposed to be as sloppy as it is necessarily, because I know how Scorsese loves to use weird takes that like don't like work to a traditional filmmaker but are perfect in his
Right.
movies.
There's
And I think
shots
that-
where the cab's gone.
Yeah.
There's shots where it's there.
And it's because
And
he's
it's-
he's like, I don't care about what, if it doesn't work, it's whatever. It's if the moment works, then it works.
Mhm.
You know.
A big one I noticed, which it kills me every time when the yacht's sinking.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Donnie's wife? She's just not there.
Yeah.
And something in my head, I'm just like, I bet you the actress just wasn't there that day and they just kind of forgot or something. I just have this feeling of like, y'all just forgot about her, I think. And maybe that's the point.
Wait,
Yeah.
she's not on the.
She's just,
Well,
they
she's
just,
not
you
in the
don't see
scene.
her again until they're rescued.
Wait,
But it's
the
like,
screaming
where would
scene with the
she-
rain on the boat. She's
Yeah.
not there.
She's just not there.
The last
And
people
it's
are
like-
there. Captain Ted, Naomi, Jordan, and Donnie.
And it's just like, where would she be though? Nowhere literally makes sense. She would be
Like,
right
by
there.
herself? Yeah.
Right.
And then how does she live and dance with them at the
Right.
end?
And it's just like, I think y'all just forgot. But it's like, fuck it works.
We don't think about it.
I mean, I do every time.
Oh.
I'm just like, where is she? It's because he's hugging on to Naomi the whole time, where I'm just like, where's Donnie's wife? It's just like, and maybe that's the point. He doesn't care about her.
That scene is insane. That's
We're
one
talking
of that's
about
one of
the-
Scorsese's like biggest set pieces.
It's reminiscent of the plane crash in Aviator.
Oh yeah.
Or
big
the
time.
boat scene in Cape Fear with the river.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think about
Pretty
that.
intense.
Yeah.
Have you seen Cape Fear, Jordan?
It's been. I remember really, really liking it a lot.
So great.
It's
Fucking-
it's
it's
very
great.
interesting.
I like De Niro being able to just be that
Me
guy.
too.
Yeah.
He finally was just like, come on.
It's just so fucking crazy. He speaks in tongues.
I know.
That's how it ends.
I know.
Well, I do declare, counselor.
He doesn't say
It's
that.
Robert
wish
De
you
Niro.
Foghorn
I was about to say
Leghorn.
Robert De Niro as Foghorn. Like, I say.
I say.
What's it? Oh, Max Cady.
Yeah.
Max Cady,
What's his
baby.
goddamn name? Okay, but the yacht sinking.
Yeah, the
How do we
yacht-
talk about
It's it's just crazy how that like kind of like he's evolved from where we've seen him go over the course of his career. Like that is such a giant fucking set piece where he is working with an enormous.
I will not
Everything
die
is
sober.
like that might be one of his most dramatic scenes that he's ever shot. Probably.
gosh, yeah.
When you consider the things that are out, the outer elements of the scene and the character's reaction to the scene, and the fact that literally that was something that Jordan Belfort has cited as a real incident that actually happened.
Think about this is thematically appropriate. Think about all of his interactions in his movies. Most of the big dramatic scenes are character on character.
Oh yeah,
Not
he
like
very
an outside element.
character on environment is not something that Scorsese deals with,
and it
just
always
about
hits
ever.
hard.
Aviator plane crash.
Yeah, there's the plane crash
Yeah.
in Aviator, which is fucking bananas.
It's
And
literally
fe-
insane.
When shit, it's just on fire
Yeah.
instead of water. I mean, Cape Fear
And
is
DiCaprio's
comparable in a
fucked
way, just because of the pouring rain and shit. But like, I feel like the emotion is more similar.
I'm trying to think of
Aviator
any
crash.
of those scenes in like the Sessis that I love, and I
don't
really
think there-
can't.
there's
You
not
guys
too
love
many more.
Aviator. I haven't seen Aviator in years.
It is.
Casino
It
has some
slaps.
big scenes.
but not like
Not like on that
element.
scale.
Casino
no.
has, I mean, a car blowing up, which is
Sure.
like,
No,
Well, but the thing about I mean, Gangs of New York probably has stuff.
yeah, but Gangsta New York.
not
is like,
really.
elements.
Like at the end, when I guess at the riots at the end, and then the cannon blast and stuff,
sure,
that does get pretty
But
crazy.
I do think a lot of that is masked in weird, choppy editing.
But the group
You don't know
battles and
shit
shit,
about
like
Chop.
that's all done really shittily. Shit like
don't say
Shit, like
shittily.
shittily. I don't think
I was,
anything's a word if you want it to be.
Yeah.
I was peeing and I looked at my phone at like the notes I took and like funny quotes. They're interviewing they're interrogating all of Belfort's guys.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Holden-
Interviewing.
They're like, Holden, that's a nice name. What kind of name is that? He's like, it's my name. It's like, I pissed myself.
That quote, immediate piss.
So
No, go ahead.
this has got to be the funniest Scorsese has been or will ever be. Like the whole movie.
We
I'm
were
just
talking
pissing
about
myself.
that, and
We
I
had a
know
little
that
argument.
you are lukewarm on this one, but we do kind of have to teeter between this and After Hours.
But
Like,
the
No,
thing
I
is-
like After Hours a lot. I just didn't love After Hours.
Right, but we're
the
like
thing
as
is-
funniest.
The thing is, they're the two that are in the conversation.
I
Yeah.
think King of Comedy is up there too. But I know you guys didn't love King
It's
of Comedy.
sadder to me.
I
No,
love
Yeah.
King of Comedy is one of the
Comedy.
ones that that liked at the time, and then as time grew on, was like, oh, I think I love this movie.
That's why I kind of think After Hours gives me the
Zing.
best comedy vibe. Like it's the funniest because I don't think it's trying to be anything else. It has stuff that you can look at underneath, but first and foremost, it's trying to be a funny movie.
Yeah.
But it's different kinds of comedies. I feel like most of the comedy in Wolf of Wall Street's the dialogue.
Yeah.
Most of the comedy in After Hours is the situation.
Situational, yes, exactly.
And they're two different kinds of comedies, and he's excelling at both.
Yep.
Like, because I mean, like, there is physical comedy in Wolf of Wall Street.
Well, I mean,
There
yeah.
is
Are those the only
dialogue.
3 movies that he is like setting
what's
out
the
to?
third?
3.
King of Comedy,
Oh,
Wolf of
I'm
Wall
not
Street, After
convinced
Hours.
he is.
Yeah,
No, I'm saying, are those the only 3 movies that he's
Yes.
setting out to be like the main, like the driving force of this movie is the funny?
The only
I don't
other
know.
one
King
I
of
might-
Comedy is the driving force is
Right.
funny.
I still don't
I totally
think
did.
so.
That movie doesn't survive on any less fun.
But I believe I can buy that, and I think the only other one you might be able to make a case for is like New York. But that's
It's
not
musical romance.
That's right. That's a stretch. So basically,
those
yes.
those are his 3.
I think 2 for
comedy
sure,
movies.
and 2 and 1 that's like pretty much, and 1 that's like standing there.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm kind of funny.
See, and I feel like, you know, at least with After Hours and The Wolf of Wall Street, your first viewing, you're gonna even yes, King of Comedy, your first viewing, you're gonna chuckle. But I feel like the difference is like if I watch when I watch King of Comedy again, I think that a lot less of it is gonna be funny, and a lot more of it is gonna be like, oh god, this is
Very
scary,
disturbing and sad.
like
movie.
disturbing.
No, it's very disturbing and sad. But like that movie does not live without the piss yourself laughter. parts.
yeah, and I think the
I don't know,
comedy does
that
say
movie
that.
makes me laugh. Oh my god.
I mean, it makes me laugh too.
Like it's
But
a-
Mom,
darts.
please stop
He's
calling me.
Doesn't he like in one of the comedy routines say that he lives by like he can't afford his rent, and like
Yeah, that's
he
definitely one of
doesn't
the
have
things.
a mom living with him?
Yeah, because all of it is not his real life. They're all just
Yeah.
jokes that he makes up. That's I think adds. To
Okay,
the
so,
point.
so
Rupert
does Rupert Pupkin live with his mom?
Yes,
Yes. Okay.
but he isn't a real
that's-
person
or does
anymore.
he? Because we never see her.
Yeah, I've seen people say that like he in his all of his comedies.
I never even thought about that.
But it reminds me a lot of
I've
Peeping
seen
Tom.
people say that he's schizophrenic and say that
Yeah.
like his mom doesn't exist. He can't afford his. He says he can't afford his rent. You can't ever see his mom. He says something else in one of his in the comedy skit.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Well, that was when Michael Powell was actually on the set of that movie all the time. And I think that if anything, having just recently watched Peeping Tom and seeing how subtly he's integrating which I mean subtly and not subtly at the same time, integrating all these themes and meta elements about the nature of being an audience member and then making a movie and then capturing somebody in that movie and them being in the movie and watching themselves in the movie and blah, 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 and going down the rabbit hole like that. King of Comedy does the same thing with like the art of performing. And like and what it means to like what's reality and what's
Yes.
not reality. Using a character who is mentally unstable, challenging them, and then using the arc and frame of the media on top of that. To
Media, fucking-
express how that affects our perception of reality.
There's a whole thing with celebrity culture with
exactly.
Jerry. Hey, it didn't break. With Jerry Lewis playing Jerry Langford, I think adds a whole other iconic guy, whatever. And I'm not even familiar with his work, and I know that because of the podcast.
In theory,
but
too,
just
he
like
would
the
have been
layer of
somebody-
celebrity culture.
He would have been somebody up for like, he should replace somebody on a talk show. If
gosh,
there was
yes.
a talk show at the time, like Jerry
Absolutely.
Lewis was
Yeah.
a figure like that for sure.
Definitely.
So it tracks that he was cast in that movie. It made perfect sense.
Yes.
We
are talking about the wrong movie.
So comedy.
But see, that's why I said it's a great movie.
So comedy in Wolf of Wall Street, yes. But this is okay. Here is the hard thing, right? Most of the stuff it's like we know it's not good, and I know like as a person, a human being living on this planet, wanting to be a good person, I'm like I shouldn't be laughing right now, but I also can't not stop laughing for most of this fucking movie, and it's like what is that? What literally is that? Because I think this movie's hilarious. I'm sorry. It's a dark comedy, right? A
Oh, big time.
satire.
Yeah, definitely a dark comedy.
Is that what you would call it first and foremost? At the end of the day?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what else. Because it's not a drama.
No.
And it's like not a biopic.
Well, it's a crime movie too. At the end of
Is
the day,
it?
like a crime, like
technically, you're right.
And Kyle Chandler's in the movie for like all of
I
7 minutes.
I
Yeah.
love him in this
But
movie.
he does his fucking thing.
I
He
made
has that moment when we last see him on the train.
That's
big
powerful
time.
stuff.
Powerful moment.
I had a point when I was watching it where I mentioned the scene where Leo's like crawling and shit, and that's like a turning point. The scene with Kyle Chandler on the boat,
When he
on the yacht, on the Naomi. Look,
Great
that
scene.
is the first scene of like, I think it's like 5+ minutes of dialogue. It's like very slowing down everything up to that point. It may not have been frenetic, but it never been literally just two people talking for an extended amount of time. And that is another like thematic, like this is the point where Leo's life now is shifting from frenetic, crazy bullshit to
There's an outside force trying to stop him.
not only, yes, but not only that, it's your life has to slow down because you have to figure out what the hell is going on, which he
Yeah.
doesn't do. I mean, no, he does figure it out. He's just
I'm not
he's
fucking
an idiot.
leaving.
Well, he has hubris, which is the Sassy Canon, like
the Sassy Achilles heel.
yeah.
It's
Sessy's
it's,
heel.
it's everyone's
So, I mean-
Achilles heel. Just Sessy's
It's funny because if you know enough Sassy, you start like viewing all these movies as Greek tragedies, and it's
Oh,
like
big time.
you understand that something bad is going to happen to this person, and even if you don't know, like if you knew nothing of Jordan Belfort, you could watch this movie and think he might end up on top. But if you've ever watched a Sassy, you know he's not. So you can watch him.
Yeah, but I don't know. Crime doesn't pay. When you see the shit that's going on in this movie, you're like, there's no way
No,
anyone
for sure,
does
but-
this.
No,
and
it's
it
always
doesn't.
a how. How is he going to get away with this? And then you find out he doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, and then I had
That's
a
what kinda does.
high school language arts teacher who talked about tragedy plays and novels as watching the character SITT struggle in the trap. You watch enough Sassies and you know that your protagonist is going to struggle in the trap.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to see as you watch all these Sassies, Belfort is going to struggle. If you know nothing of him, he's going to struggle in the trap. You see him, you know that he is going to fail.
But I'd argue he struggles the least almost out of anybody. Because even his like complete falls like not that bad.
Well, I
No,
was
you
about
got to
to
think
say-
about. You also got to think about scale to like the person themselves. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
Actually,
big
bought
time.
back in.
Yeah,
Bought
to
back in.
to Jordan, he is losing everything.
Everything.
He's
Yeah,
a,
yeah, yeah,
it's the
okay.
same way with Henry Hill. He gets off. He's
Henry
fine,
Hill does
but he
great.
loses everything he's
About his
ever
level.
cared
And
about.
the
You're
real
right.
Henry Hill ended up just constantly going back to crime, even
Well, and-
after Goodfellas came out.
Literally,
It's like, and it's Frank. You mentioned like capitalism and the theme of here being money. I think it's so not because you can see Jordan Belfort doesn't want to stay with his company because he wants to make more money.
He needs the high.
No, it's
More
about
power.
It's about power.
More power.
But money is power in
Money
this
is
country.
power.
certainly.
Sure, no, I agree, but like the reason he's trying to stay with his company, I think, is because he has like a tie to it. It's not necessarily that he's motivated by wealth.
He's got pride.
He's motivated by pride. He's motivated by hubris.
this is my
he's
company.
But I think that's a refraction of the American dream ideal that is
Sure,
instilled, which is a refraction of the ideas of capitalism instilled. And because this so directly is dealing with money, specifically taking it from people, cheating people out of money, that is where I think it actually
I
has
see
the
that.
lifeline of it.
I see that.
I'm
I
not
think I
saying-
just
but-
like him as
but-
Sassy, like
Exactly.
meta Sassy. I'm like, I don't think. I think it's just temporally.
But that's
Back to the word. He's talking about like he picked something that has like a real life implication here.
But that's why I pointed out at all. It's because I think that theme runs through so many of his works. That's the signifier for Wolf of Wall Street specifically.
Got you. I like that. I like that.
Because like other ones you have, like the Goodfellas, it's the mob, but it's still the pursuit of power,
Mm-hmm.
and it's being outside the law, creating your own power system, your own system of government, being outside of everything.
I am the law.
But
Same
like
with King
Wolf of
Dominic.
Wall Street, it's always about how can I do this right inside these bounds.
For sure.
How can I
until
do
he
this the the most
pushes
illegal
too far.
way.
Till he pushes too far, because hubris, because power, because money.
And-
They set.
But it's like,
But I agree, his motivations 100% is not the money. At a point, it starts that way, and then at a point, it's not even about the money. But to like an idea of like an audience's like, where can we come in on this?
For sure.
Because most people don't live like Jordan Belfort.
I think yeah, there's two things that I want to
You know
say.
what I feel, baby?
Yes,
Oh, I know
sir.
what you feel.
Yes, sir. There's two things. One thing is I think that when we talk about money versus the pursuit of power, when Jordan Belfort is alone with just like his wife and the execs or whatever, and he decides like, all right, the best course of decision is for me to leave the company, blah, 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 blah. It's when he's in front of all those guys and he's looking them all in the eyes that he's like,
The greatest
I'm
line
not
reading
fucking leaving.
I'm not fucking leaving! The greatest line reading of all
I'm
time.
not fucking leaving.
No, and then I love that
I'm not
part
fucking
where he's walking up to the camera and he's like, "They'll have to drag me out of here." And then like he gets right up at the camera and he's so close they can't even focus in on him. It's just like part of his face as he's going like, like
as
and
he
you're like,
announces, that he's not leaving, and for a second it like shows Donnie, fucking Jonah Hill, and I thought that he was like pissed. I could like the initial like reaction you get from Jonah Hill, you can't actually see it, like elation and pissed offness.
Well, he probably wants Jordan's position.
But then it like scrolls back around, like it's a long shot, I think, and it gets back to him, and then he's happy as shit. So like,
That's the noise he lets out.
Yep.
It's so funny.
He's like, he's not leaving. Yes.
You guys.
And Rob Reiner's just like, God damn it,
Jordy,
you
no,
son of
get
a-"
back
Jordy,
here.
God, Rob Reiner's amazing in this movie.
For
the goal to call on a Tuesday night.
No, that scene when he
Cheerio.
first comes up and he's just like contorting himself back and forth because he can't get the word out. He's so fucking mad. He's like, God,
Cheerio.
I remember when I saw
cheerio,
this in
good man.
theaters,
Oh, Johnny Good.
having like a mental breakdown of being like, is that Rob Reiner? Why is Rob Reiner in this movie?
Martin
that's
Scorsese, that's
all
why.
I thought the whole time. I remember being like frustrated almost. I'm like, why?
Fucking
Is
Rob
he an
Reiner.
And then
actor?
John Favreau, too.
Yeah, but that's not as crazy.
Wait,
to
well, hold
me.
on. Who was John? Where's John Favreau?
He's in like
he's
two
the
scenes. He's like a lawyer.
he's the lawyer. Yeah,
He's the guy that's
Fuck.
there with them at the ranch with
No,
the,
no,
no,
the
definitely.
the horses.
Jordan's dad. He's been mouthing, "Who's Rob Reiner?"
Oh,
I didn't know him by name. I didn't know him by
I'm
name.
Frank.
I'm Jesse.
Him, Brandon.
I'm Marty.
Guys, I'm gonna propose the hardest question we're gonna have to answer on this podcast.
What?
Are you ready for it?
No.
No.
Because you might have an obvious answer, but you're not thinking hard enough because it's a hard question. What's it? Oh,
Speak.
obviously everybody in this movie is fucking on fire, perfectly cast.
Not a hard
to
question.
every single supporting character.
Yeah, it's great.
Who's the better performance? Is it Leo or Jonah?
Jonah Hill. Oh, it's so easy.
You
Jonah
said,
Hill.
hold
It's
on.
so easy
I
for
just
me.
said that's where my brain immediately goes, but you got to pause and really think about it. You got to pause and
It
really
doesn't
fucking
surprise
think
me
about
that
it.
Jonah Hill can do that.
Listen, I'm trying to
Doesn't
hold
surprise
back.
me Leo can do
It doesn't
Yeah.
surprise me that most of like the, I don't want to say cool, but like good actors that that Sassy has cast in leading roles can do what they do, especially with like this vignette style.
Yeah.
I feel like it lends itself to not having to have a huge, awesome, like there's no like giant long scenes with prolonged amazing performances.
See, I don't know. I feel like if you're
Okay,
talking
okay,
about
okay.
better performances, you have to. It's unfortunate that you have to look at the movie as what it is. Like, would I watch a movie with Jonah Hill as this character where he's the protagonist? Like, yeah, I'd watch it. Is it probably going to be as good as this? I don't know. Probably not. Like in my head,
Well,
like,
now,
But-
are you just valuing?
is he an interesting enough character? Is that an interesting enough performance to carry an entire 3-hour film?
But, like,
I don't
it
know,
is.
but
But
that's
it's
what I'm saying. That's
designed
not
to.
fair. But I'm saying that one, that's not this movie, and that's where I'm like, right. This is the Wolf of Wall Street, where DiCaprio is the lead. He's the one that has to carry us through this entire movie. If it doesn't work on his end perfectly, then the movie, in a way, doesn't work.
Okay, I think there's no denying that they're both literally
Oh, yeah.
amazing, Oscar-worthy,
Dude,
like up there with
DiCaprio
their
is
best stuff.
such
He's
a
on
good
fire.
shyster, dude.
Yeah.
He is like, oh my goodness.
Baby, please.
You believe he's-
the Naomi?
Come for me,
pleading.
daddy.
No,
I was the only person who didn't say it. Come for me, daddy.
no, Jesse didn't say it. Oh,
I
he
did
did.
say it.
I'm
He did
saying
say
it.
it.
He did. I'm sorry.
Brandon, one more time.
Come for me, daddy.
Oh,
Oh, no.
that was, God, I'm wet in the britches.
But I think I think that the fight scene with Naomi when she throws the water on him and stuff like that's incredible acting.
Amazing. No, and Margot Robbie's amazing.
She is.
She
Everybody.
does great.
Matthew
This is her first big
McConaughey.
role. This was her breakout in America.
Which, like, I didn't know that, but like, good on her.
I mean, it's fucking extra impressive when you're like, right, she's Australian.
And I remember when I first saw the movie, just assuming she had to be from Brooklyn.
Because she's perfect.
Come for me,
But
daddy.
I think it's undeniable. Leo and Jonah are like doing like next level work.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And I feel like I do prefer Jonah because every time I'm just like, anytime he reappears, I'm like, where's Donnie been? Like, how come there's not more Donnie? I'm wanting more from him. And Leo, I'm like, does everything he's ever supposed to do at 1,000. And that is its own skill of like excellence of like utilizing your star power to all your fucking strengths.
Literally.
But there's something about
Donnie.
Donnie fucking Azoff and Jonah Hill, and it's just like
No, he's
I
amazing.
just-
Like I said, I don't even think it's almost fair to compare the two over
It's not
best.
fair. You're right.
But
yeah, no.
I said I was asking a hard question.
but that's
It's-
where I say that I think it is DiCaprio. But I'm
Like,
gonna stay with it.
You know,
accept
I'm trying to hold back on my, my Leo talk for when we, give our Leo talk as a whole. But like knowing
Fuck you.
Last Leo?
knowing the movie,
not
this
yet,
is the last
not
Leo.
yet, not yet,
The
not yet.
Knowing seeing Leo at this point where I had seen him for the first time and having like very little context of his career, save for three actually no, only 2 other movies at the time that I had seen that had Leonardo DiCaprio. So to me, this was something that felt sort of new and refreshing. And on the second time around, it felt like this is what you were meant to do. Got it. With Jonah Hill, I've had this familiarity with him, it feels like my whole life, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's just had these movies that you sort of like have to see by a certain age, and he's in multiple that like, you're like, oh yeah, I think I kind of grew up with Jonah Hill. Like, he's shaped.
What's his character's name in Superbad?
In Superbad, he's
It's Seth.
Seth. It's Seth.
Seth. Donnie is Seth, but like a little bit later.
No, I
You
feel
don't
like
think?
it's its own thing. I
Yeah.
feel like Donnie's his
But
own
Here's
thing.
the thing.
Donnie is a.
You don't
I
know shit
think
about
that
Chop.
that's
Donnie
why.
is, Donnie's in the wheelhouse of Jonah Hill. There's no question about that.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
not like I said. It's not
So
something-
is Jordan.
I'm not saying that it's not for DiCaprio.
What was that? Sorry.
kill myself.
Sorry. That was really late.
What?
I think that's what adds to Jonah Hill's performance. Is the not only the familiarity, at least for me, for the first watch, but then even on the second watch, how essential he is to the movie. Like, so many scenes, even like Donnie as a character sure is great, but without Jonah Hill playing Donnie, I don't think you would have the same weight to Donnie.
No, I can't imagine anybody else. in
These
that
are both
part.
pretty.
I could see other people playing the Jordan part.
I don't know, dude.
Dude, and Ray
don't
Liotta's
know.
and Ray
They're
Liotta's
both-
prime, and same year as Goodfellas, say
I
this movie
did
came
say
out,
that,
Ray
but I
Liotta
was
could do
like-
it.
Well, I don't know if
Dude,
Ray
I don't
Liotta. Like,
know.
I always the moment I think about in this movie is the Popeye moment. I'm like, can they?
Dude,
can
so-
they sell that?
It's I like the
And
Ray
that
Liotta.
he does. He sells it in this movie, and I don't know
does.
if there are other actors. Like, I even think weirdly enough that this is a part that like. I feel like I'm gonna get shot down. Like,
Wrong.
Like
Ugh.
early 2000s Jim Carrey would.
No. So
way.
no.
Okay, wait, but like, it would have been funnier. It would have
No,
maybe.
I think
It would
he's
have
got
no,
the
like
wrong
not like
energy.
funnier to us, but like funnier as a movie.
I think if this
It
movie's
would've
made
been
in the early
funnier.
2000s, it's almost like that's the guy you're
know.
thinking about.
It might have been DiCaprio still.
Maybe.
No, too
He might have
young,
been
too baby faced.
Yeah, too
For
young.
some reason, at some point, he was like, "No."
He's perfectly babyfaced
No!
in this.
Yeah.
He's
It
a
is
24-year-old.
It is
Looks
a
like
role
a
born for
24-year-old.
DiCaprio, and I think that's why we said earlier it's not shocking that he's the reason that this movie came to be. He's the
Big
one that's
time.
been trying to get this movie made.
I
He
can't
wanted
think of
this
anybody
pop.
Here's the-
else that would.
You mentioned Ray Liotta as like a I don't know. I feel like Ray Liotta isn't as much of a fucking snake oil. He doesn't seem nearly as conniving.
When was
You
the
think
last time you
Mark
watched
Wahlberg
Goodfellas,
could have
bro?
played this part in the early 2000s?
Matt Damon. Matt Damon.
I don't know if he could have gotten as crazy.
Brad Pitt never could have, and he's obviously
No,
one I
he's
thought of.
too
like,
subdued.
No, I'm
Way
like,
too
yeah, you're
subdued.
wrong energy.
Is
Hold
Ed Norton the 90s choice?
Oh, whoa.
Nice.
Wait, you
Ed
might be.
Norton?
Yeah, like
you might be onto
1999
something.
Fight
He's a little
Club.
fucking
You might be onto something.
damn.
Because he
He
can look
never
clean
get-
enough. Because I think the whole thing is about looking clean while being dirty.
Is it
Dude,
halfway
I can
between
totally
Fight Club
see.
and 25th Hour?
I can
Like,
totally
Yeah.
see him saying on the yacht scene with fucking all the FBI guys.
Gonna die.
Yeah.
Sober.
It's like, here,
Damn.
take some coupons, take some fun coupons.
Though I will,
Oh,
I do
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like the
fucking Ed Norton's a shit.
The Norton version probably would be a little angrier. I feel
Yes.
like when he gets
Yeah.
mad, like
Yes.
Leo's able to contain that rage to the point where it's like, what is going on? But like Ed Norton will probably be like, fucking hit him now.
I'm just
Punch him in the face.
I'm just imagining Ed Norton doing all of this in like a Boy Scout outfit from Moonrise Kingdom.
Moonrise Kingdom.
He's in
know
a
what?
Boy Scout outfit.
I'm not fucking leaving. You let this happen under your watch, sir. You're gonna have to resign from the troop. I'm not fucking leaving. I'm not fucking leaving. Two kids
can't
ran
think-
away.
I can't think of anyone else.
But same thing with Jonah.
I think
Literally
Jonah.
perfect.
Like, don't get me wrong. You're right when you say that Leo is the reason. Like, he carries us through the movie. But I don't know. Jonah Hill is like just so essential. And you know, earlier you said he feels like the Pesci, and I feel like he's this perfect amalgamation of Joe Pesci, but as well as Adam Scott. Adam
Oh.
Scott. The same way that Adam
minus
Scott
the dirty work of Pesci.
minus the dirty work of Pesci, but he's got the attitude of Adam Scott and he's got the anger of Joe Pesci. I'm talking about in Aviator when he's being a
Yeah.
dick the whole time. You don't remember his character with the mustache? I think about specifically when Howard Hughes is at the table and the waitress comes up and he's being really creepy to the waitress, and Adam Scott behind him the whole time is like, what the
Leonardo
fuck? Like,
DiCaprio
why aren't
was
you
being
showing this guy
weird.
some more respect? Why aren't you being more cool to this guy? And he's a dickhead for the whole movie. And everything Donnie does is hilarious, but you're also like, why are you being such an asshole for no reason? It's less funny with Adam Scott, and the violence is way more funny with like Joe Pesci. He's like the perfect, like, I don't know, just like smashed into one character. It feels like that's what it's meant to be.
Do you?
I love him.
Okay.
I'm just coming up with people who could possibly take Leo's role. Do you think
You.
early on? Do you think Tom Cruise could do it?
90s Tom Cruise.
I don't know, man.
80s.
80s?
Oh.
No,
Oh,
it might
he
be
looks
that
too
might be a little
young.
much.
He looks like
I
a
might be
fucking
too-
teenager.
but think about
Fine,
Frank
like-
T.J. Mackey just before we talked about
I
him
know.
on this podcast. He could
Nah.
Might be,
Respect
no,
the
hold on,
cock.
hold on. He might be a little too slick. Like
Yeah,
too
yeah.
slick.
Here's the
maybe,
thing.
but he's conniving.
He's
Very-
that's
okay.
my 80s
And then,
Cruise, man. That
My
energy.
next one is like somebody who I don't like that much, but like, do you think Robert Downey Jr. could do
No.
like to not nearly
No.
like
Stop.
as bombastic?
Stop.
No,
Like,
it
stop.
would be annoying.
Yeah, because
To
you're
be a
thinking
dumb
about
fucking
you're
Iron
thinking
Man.
about you're thinking about the quickie, quirpy, the
'Cause
cute.
that's what it fucking
What
is.
is
No,
quirky?
but it wouldn't. Quirpy, because like that's what I think about when I think of Robert Downey Jr., where he's just like, I'm gonna say this, then I'm gonna say this, and now I'm
It'd
gonna
be
stop.
So fucking annoying.
What about Nick Cage?
Yes, 90s Nick Cage.
Too
Oh,
crazy.
shit,
Too
dude.
crazy. Too
Nah,
crazy.
but I-
He
No,
wouldn't
man.
be.
He's
there's
been
something.
able to
Raising
rein it in.
Arizona, Nick Cage. Oh.
Listen,
He might
you
be a
guys,
young
you're all
man.
gonna shoot me down, and I don't care.
But I'm
But
still fucking
you got to think about this person's face when I say this. You have to think about their face specifically.
My eyes are closed.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
I mean,
Cuba
yeah.
Gooding Jr.
Cuba
Oh,
Gooding
shit.
Jr.
I thought about it in my head. I was like a person of color. The first person I thought it was Denzel, and I was like, no,
No.
he's way too just like. I think you're gonna kill somebody.
No, but
Young
Denzel
Cuba.
could do some of this too.
Denzel
Like, I
could do
No,
some of it, but
he's-
as a whole, bro, as a whole, the
yacht
whole
scene
think
thing.
about Training
The
Day
yacht
Denzel.
scene with Denzel.
His- but-
That's what I was thinking.
No,
of,
but
when he's
Denzel's-
pointing,
Here's the
"I'm
thing.
guy."
Denzel's
Denzel
funny
doesn't do.
isn't as funny. Like as
Denzel doesn't do blundering well. Like
Yes.
just like his voice, even when he's saying lines like I think about Devil in a Blue Dress. There's times where he fucks
Oh,
up.
he's smooth.
Never
Yeah,
feels
he's
like
so
he fucks
smooth.
up. Never feels like he fucks
Cuba's
up.
a real.
That's a good
Cuba,
pick.
I think that his
fuck
freak
with
his freakouts would be very authentic, and then like you sort of like every time Cuba's like happy in a movie, I'm like, you motherfucker. Like, what are you doing? Like, it's the way that he smiles and he's laughs. Like, he's
Oh.
got something over you.
Guys, he's in the movie and we haven't even talked about him much. But if you would have rewound the clock back, maybe like even 5 years, McConaughey
oh
Duh.
would have been able to nail this. Find the common denominator.
Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
Do it with us. Come
Literally
on.
the craziest like way to get you
how
in
do
a
they
movie.
get? How do they? How does Sassy allow that to be in the first 20 minutes of
that-
this fucking movie?
Because it just hook, line, sinker.
It
That's what this
establishes-
movie
You're
is.
welcome, all
It
right?
establishes the pace of the movie, but also I think it's interesting
Yeah,
that that's another thing that Scorsese pulled from McConaughey himself. That was a warm up that McConaughey would do before going on set, like acting in a scene, and he was like, "Let's just throw that into the scene real quick," and it ended up becoming basically the mantra of the whole movie.
Yeah.
They do it later.
Yep,
Twice.
they do it a bunch, and then it's the end credits song of the movie is framed around that. There's like a beat and like a song in the background, but there's singers going.
I fuck with late 90s Matt Damon. I'm circling back to that.
Yeah,
I
that
see
could work.
that. That'd be good. Like Good Will Hunting, Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Come on.
I don't know. I feel like his Leo never gets like super menacing, but like I feel like there's
a menace.
and I don't think Damon has that.
Could Gosling? He's a little.
He's a little too much.
He's a little something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't know.
He'd be like,
Here's the thing, like
I'm
when
not fucking leaving. So-
when he like his freak out, I'm just saying like his freakouts probably would take you out.
Yeah.
Like it would probably
They
take
take
you
me
out
out.
of
Yeah.
like at least a little bit where you're just like, what are you?
Just like,
Well,
Come on.
instead of like the guy, his housekeeper who he thinks fucking stole from him, instead of like
Oh.
holding it, he's gonna just bash his head in an elevator. Like that's what he's gonna do.
It's like we're going down, baby.
Yeah.
There. Okay. Who did I? Fuck! I lost it. Oh, Daniel Day-Lewis.
No. No.
No. Okay. Wait. But if they were making this movie this year, do we think our boy Robbie Patz could do it?
No.
I don't know if he
so
carries
weird.
the power.
He's not
It'd be
light.
so
I don't think he's
weird.
light
He would have been
enough.
a good Donnie.
He wouldn't let himself. He would like he would.
I want to see his take on Donnie. I don't.
Yeah.
It's a different
Donnie-
fucking movie.
okay, hear me out.
Smoke crack with me, bro.
Donnie,
This instantly became train spotting.
what's the name
Like
of the
imagine
Punisher?
being Benny Safdie is in the Jordan Belfort role and Robert Pattinson is in the
No,
fucking...
no.
Benny and the Donnie.
Wait a
Oh,
minute.
Hold up,
good
do you
that
guys think
too.
Adam Sandler? Adam
could do
Sandler?
this shit?
No, okay, I thought about that, but I was like,
Whoa.
no.
He could maybe do Donnie.
Mm.
But
Do crack, smoke crack with me, bro.
that I do want to smoke crack
Dude,
with me, bro.
imagine. I'm
Dude,
already
this
imagining
young
Adam
Sandler.
Steve Madden.
Young
do it.
Sandler, like Airhead Sandler, absolutely.
Oh, my goodness.
I think he's more a Donnie than a Jordan.
We are recasting this.
Yeah, we are recasting the whole movie.
I'm
Right
already,
now.
so it's cool.
I digress, but that regardless, we did talk about the fact that this movie is perfectly cast for what
It
it
is.
is.
Oh, yeah.
Literally
So
every
there are so
single
many
person.
avenues we could take it down, but at the end of the day, like I don't think I would want anybody other than the people that they pick.
No.
So
I was just playing a
Perfection.
fun
It's all hogwash.
hypothetical. Fun
it's
hypothetical.
fun. It's fun.
I wish Kyle Chandler was in it more.
I do too.
wish his story was a little more important. But I know the whole
No.
point is that it's not to fucking Jordan.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. God, I hate it. You can do anything. You
But
can
he
make-
this is the FBI guy, right?
Yeah. I
He
just want a little
arguably
more.
has the like the weightiest, most important scenes in the movie.
Outside for the last shot.
Outside of that shot.
Like when he's
Yeah.
on that train,
It hurts.
it might be like one of the most powerful things. That's he's just like thrown in there.
Yeah, I always wondered. It's like that's obviously in there for commentary because I don't know if Jordan is actively thinking about something like that. You know,
Are these
but
ones mine?
Yeah, you pull them out of your jacket.
No, but Jess.
They
these
are
are
your-
Jess-
they are
no, these
yours.
are yours.
no, they're yours.
They are yours.
I'm your father.
Sure.
Everybody?
I'm okay.
Dish them out. Darts.
Give
it
here.
You don't want to be left out?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Promo.
But anyway, yeah, I mean, like, and that's
What'd
the
you
other.
call
oh,
me?
Hey, another thing we haven't mentioned also is how kinetic and precise the camera work in this movie is,
Was
and that
this
is
the
all because it is the first
Rodrigo?
movie shot by our boy Rodrigo Prieto, who will go on to shoot the rest of the movies that Scorsese makes.
I know nothing about like a lot. I know Schoonmaker, or is that how you say it? Schoonmaker.
Schoonmaker.
Hey, bro.
Schoonmaker.
Schoonmaker?
I was wrong
Just-
on both syllables.
Just smile and nod. That's what I do.
You know, but I know her. I don't know.
I know her.
Brandon and I can sit over here and be like we watch the movies.
Yeah, we like film.
But this is, Sassy has like, I'd say as far as cinematographers go, there's like 4 or 5 people he like goes back to, whatever,
Okay.
has worked with. This is the guy who did Wolf, Silence, and Irishman. I think Wolf is so fucking over the top and absurd. Like, obviously, it fits perfectly. It's like
Putting your foot down.
and same thing with Irishman of the like calm meditative. It's like
I've cemented
both-
my place.
both don't. I never think about the cinematography, but it's like because you are so dialed into the worlds, you're
Yeah.
not calling attention
Rodrigo's
to it.
kind of invisible, and I think
Except Silence. I
Yeah.
think that might be. I'm very excited to rewatch the best looking Sassy movie.
don't
That's the
doubt
one
that.
thing I took away from it, being like, every frame is beautiful.
But see,
how
I feel the same way about The Irishman. I know you say it's not, but it's not as in your face, and I think
not
that's
in your
what's
face.
so impressive
Neither
about
is
The Irishman.
silence, though.
I know, but The Irishman has so many shots. I'm like, that's a fucking painting. Like, I want to pull that off the fucking movie and put it on my
final
wall.
shot.
The final shot is like
So
the most evidence.
Pierrotto is like somehow
Pierrotto.
matches the bombastic quality that Sassy demands, but he is the most subtle out of anyone he's ever worked
yet
with.
simultaneously, I think that he's probably half the reason that he still has that energy and that exuberance, that youth, that he can still carry these movies the way he does and like put the energy in them that he does. That has to be somewhat on the part of Rodrigo.
He's not young.
And Thelma too. And
He
Thelma's
sure
old
ain't
too.
young. He's 55, Mr. Prieto.
Damn.
He was an Iñárritu's guy.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, no
until,
way.
Until
Right.
Chivo took over.
Yeah.
So he shot the
When did
first
Chi-
4 Iñárritus.
Oh wow,
21 grams.
Amores
Yeah,
Perros.
yeah.
Sable, beautiful.
I love Amores Perros.
That's a great one.
That's
That's the only one
amazing.
of those that I like.
It
actually.
has probably my favorite non-English speaking song ever. Si Senor by Comprendes Mendes is one of my favorite songs ever.
I'll have to look it up.
It's the
Plug.
it's what's the like the what is the song called when it's like on the title screen of the DVD?
The menus track.
The menu track, but it's in the song a couple times when Gael Garcia Bernal is like taking his dogs to the fights. It is a banger.
Gail's the fucking best.
I love Gael Garcia Bernal.
He
Guys,
couldn't have played it. Oh, he could have played Jean Dujardin.
no.
He could.
Sacha Baron Cohen. That's the one person who needs to be recast in this movie. Is Jean Dujardin.
That
He's
was a
fine.
timely choice.
He's exactly. It's like you don't deserve to be in this.
He's
movie.
literally
Sasha would have done great.
nothing.
Yeah, it's like
Since.
he's not bad.
Wait, what? Who are we talking about?
The Swiss
The Swiss
banker.
guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's
yeah.
not bad. He does it. It's fine. But it's like I don't like. Am I? I'm
Don't-
not,
It's just a weird reminder that
Sacha
the
Baron
artist
Cohen.
exists and that, it won Best Picture and he won Best Actor and then no one ever heard from any of
Oh,
them.
so
ever
who's
again.
this guy? I don't even. I'm
He
not.
won
artist.
Best Actor in 2012.
In the
for
artist.
Yeah.
The artist was good. I don't remember this guy.
I don't remember at
He
all.
won
but I
Best
remember-
Actor in a
He
silent
won
movie.
no, not in a silent movie. In
Oh.
a movie. Best Actor.
Silent movies are
Not
movies.
in the artist.
No, in the artist.
Yes, and it was.
It's a silent
Oh,
film.
that's what I'm asking.
But
Yes.
he won a Best Actor overall the same year that a bunch of other people were nominated for Talkies.
Wow, for talkies.
Wait,
Say "Come for Me, Daddy."
so
right
the
now.
artist, the artist is a silent movie
Yes.
that he was in that he won an
It
Oscar
won Best
for.
Picture too, right?
Yeah, it did.
The artist
Best
is dope,
Director.
but like,
I remember liking it, but I'm never gonna rewatch it. That's
No.
one where it's like I'm gonna let my memory have that one.
Yeah,
We're
for
gonna
sure.
just leave that to the
Yeah.
brain. I fuck
this movie doesn't have words in it. Oh my goodness!
Go Oscar.
Come for me, Daddy.
Wait, movies are images.
They actually had that in a title card in the artist.
to the artist, come for me, Daddy.
One accent in parentheses.
Yeah, they got to make sure you say it right.
Yep.
But he's the only one I'd fucking recast. I don't know.
What is his name again?
The banker,
Jean
Yeah.
Dujardin?
the actor, or the character?
the actor.
Jean Dujardin.
Jean Dujardin. Okay.
It should be fucking.
Is he Swiss?
No,
no,
he's
it's French.
French.
Yeah, okay, that's right. Dujardin. Yeah.
Well, we all know Sassy
I watch
doesn't
it.
care.
I'm a big enough fan of hockey to see Desjardins everywhere
Oh,
and know that
nice.
it's
Yeah, yeah,
French
yeah,
or
yeah.
French Canadian.
Uh-huh.
So-
Right on.
Dude, all of his ragtag crew of dudes are fucking amazing in this.
Oh,
movie.
dude, his cronies.
Like
Holden
Rugrat,
is
Pinhead,
so
and
funny.
Seatter.
yeah, and John Bernthal is
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
the clutch pick, like when you really think about it.
He's
Ma!
so funny.
Ma!
Tell your sister I was asking about her. She don't want to come around here anymore.
Yeah.
Wait,
Hey, you guys know any girls? Tell them they can come over to watch. He's just flexing. It's like, what?
And then when he's getting the money dumped all over him, and he's like, he died, like, a few years later from like a heart attack. It's sad.
Yeah.
And they just linger on that moment for a
What-
second.
I never like realized he's on that yacht with a whole bunch of naked ladies around. He's still married to the Slovenian girl, right?
Yes.
Probably.
Okay, yeah. It's the world.
Obviously,
it's
that
the
shit
world
doesn't
of
matter
Jordan
to them.
Belfort.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah.
You're supposed to cheat. You're rich.
So everybody's fucking great in this movie. Just except John Favreau. Like, why is he in there too? Get out of here, John.
That's a
Favreau.
We need
forgettable.
more
He's-
directors.
Fuck. There's a few things we gotta talk about.
Box
Let's
office.
hear him.
Box
And
office
budget.
budget, and then one funny art reflecting life thing.
I'm gonna
Okay,
pee. You can do the first two things as I pee.
go for it.
Jesus.
I'm still directing.
The budget.
Directors have to have a bladder
The
infection in
budget
order to work.
supposedly and this is a contentious thing we'll talk about in the controversy art reflecting life thing. But they say $100 million, which today is $111.7 million. We're at 11.7% inflation, ladies and gentlemen. We're
so close.
We're so close.
So close.
Even the
And
Irishman's going to be inflated somehow.
it will.
Like
Every year
1%.
there's
Yeah.
inflation. The fucking box office. Marty did it. Despite the controversy, despite the graphic content, to just make that ending that more potent. It's the most successful movie he's ever made.
Yep.
$392 million. Today,
Jesus.
It was a whopping
437.9.
It was
Jesus.
Huge hit. Huge, well, not huge critical success. It was, but also wasn't.
Did it
Has-
have like a 75% or something on Rotten
I
Tomatoes?
think so.
Which is not what we would call the aggregate for being the best thing or the most reliable source to get your
80,
good to bad movie
80%
from.
on Rotten Tomatoes.
Certified fresh.
Fucking
But that's not like
Lots of
amazing
top
for a
10
Scorsese.
lists, people did defend it, but audience rating had a C on CinemaScore.
Wow.
I think it's long, and that does turn people
It
off.
is
immediately
long.
Yeah,
for
it
some
does.
reason.
I mean, hey, Irishman is a even worse argument.
it's the whole fucking point.
I know, fucking idiots.
But so he did it. It was nominated for 5 Academy Awards. The whole fucking thing. Fucking
did it win anything?
No.
It couldn't have.
no, it didn't.
It's like screenplay would have been the only thing I could have seen adapted.
Who has been nominated for Best Actor in a Sesame movie?
De Niro,
De Niro and what?
So many.
Raging Bull,
Raging Bull. Okay,
Taxi
that's the good-
Driver.
Oh, okay.
I think he may have been nominated for King of Comedy.
Mm-mm.
No,
Those which is funny though. Those are like the not
I think he was nominated for Goodfellas.
Pesci won for Goodfellas.
Pesci won
Pesci-
for supporting.
for supporting. See, I feel like this
He won
type.
Best Picture for Aviator.
DiCaprio's been nominated for
Wahlberg
Best
nominated for
Actor.
Departed.
I feel like all these we should call them vignette.
Newman won for Color of Money. Sorry.
Okay, well I was saying like all these like vignette movies. It's hard to win for people to think of as or for people to think of you as like the best role in a movie that's literally just a whole bunch of tiny little scenes that aren't necessarily connected to each other.
Right, but
with
there's generally always one person guiding those things.
No, for sure. But I'm just saying, like, of all it's like Goodfellas, this, The Irishman, and what's another like? Those
Casino.
are the Casino. Those are all like these like kind of vignette, voiceover heavy
Yep,
character movies.
almost mob
The
movies.
Departed.
Yeah, and
Departed.
The
Kind of, but
Departed.
there's-
No, The
Departed is
Departed is
the
way
most
more
plotty.
story
I
driven.
know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's a lot of just like
For
you're,
sure,
you're
but it's
saying
still-
How
slow
much
way more driven
voiceover
by
is there in The
plot.
Departed?
There's none.
None. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well,
So
The opening voice.
Oh yeah,
But it's
which
like-
is
I wanna
barely
be a
voiceover because
product of
technically
my
it's diegetic
environment.
when he starts talking.
doesn't this type of like movie that Ceci does and we let him get away with because they're so amazing, isn't it lends itself to supporting actors being like the ones where it's like, yeah, I get it because
Similar to Tarantino in that way.
big time.
That's actually a real good
Big time.
comparison. How many times has fucking supporting actor won for Tarantino?
What's
Actually,
that?
only twice, but
It's the same.
feels like the iconic roles.
Wait for the crim.
Get out of here. The fucking okay, the art reflecting life. The whole thing about like the money of who paid for this movie and everything. There's supposedly it was stolen funds from the One Malaysia Development Berhad scandal. Wait, hold on. One Malaysia. I gotta reread this shit. Hold on.
I remember you talking about this before about it's like one very
Malaysia
rich
Development
dude.
Berhad. Yeah, there's some rich dude. Who is the guy? Riza Aziz? Jesus. I'm never doing this again. drunk.
Reza Aziz.
Sure.
REZA.
Riza.
Oh, it might be Reza. Yeah.
Anyway, he
The
was
RZA.
like the stepson of a former Malaysian prime minister.
Oh wow.
And he like was just some kid who was like, I'm gonna go to America and I'm gonna have the money and people are gonna party with me. And that became his like whole identity. He'd just throw big parties and invite celebrities and be like, come to my party. It's gonna be crazy.
You're sure this isn't the RZA?
No, it's not the RZA. I promise.
No,
It's just
after
some
the Wu-Tang Clan
Malaysian
disbanded.
like young dude. And like I know he became real big friends with like Paris Hilton and like Lindsay Lohan and a bunch of other random celebrities.
Wow.
But through these parties, he met Leo. And then they were talking about this movie. And he's like, I'm going to pay for your movie.
Damn.
And then he eventually got arrested because he was like taking money from this like Malaysian like like basically like public fund for their like people. And
Damn.
now there's this whole weird thing. And then like they had to hold on. The United States Department of Justice stated that the funds siphoned were used by this like production company to produce the film, and they had to end up like paying it off basically, and
Damn.
like paying back a lot of money to be like, we're not going to jail for this, sorry, like Leo and shit. So like they like stole money to make The Wolf of Wall Street in essence
That's hilarious.
on
From
their
the
own
Malaysian people.
fucking terms, and it's just like, so you Jordan Belfort did.
Synergistic.
It's
You Jordan
fucked
Belforted it.
up.
That is
What was that?
that's fucked up.
This is the worst bit we've
It's
ever
a
had
horrible
on
bit.
this show.
I'm sorry.
Just kidding. Jordan.
What was that?
I walked right into that. I literally walked into it. There are more details, and I don't feel like reading, and I'm still tipsy. Look it up. It's just fucking hilarious. Like,
Oh,
of
yeah.
course, Leo got involved with some party dude and was like, "Fund my movie. I'm not going to think twice about this." Random stranger. Shake
There's
hands.
probably
You know
a
what?
reason he
Join the
connects
pussy
to the
posse.
movie.
I want you in the pussy posse, Malaysian guy.
Is this
Join
the
my
time?
gang.
Just kidding. Everybody Google the Pussy Posse. You'll have a great night of reading. It's one of my favorite things to do. Every like 6 months, I Google it and I tell somebody. I'm just like, Leonardo DiCaprio was in a self-proclaimed group called the Pussy Posse, and he's still America's biggest movie star. It's fucking amazing and horrifying, and says everything you need to know about celebrity culture. Like, proud of it. They're doing interview magazines where they're like, "We're the Pussy Posse." And
Who
it's
else?
just like,
Who else was in the Pussy Posse?
Toby.
Let's hear
Tobey
it.
fucking
Maguire.
Oh
Maguire.
yeah.
Kevin Connolly, Lucas Haas. There was
talk-
some
Leo's
they
the
were
only one
friends.
who made
Harmony
it.
Korine would sometimes hang out with them.
Who?
Harmony Korine, the guy who made like Gummo and Beach Bum and
Oh,
fucking Spring
wow.
Breakers. Yeah, dirty New York boy. And then fucking they were also friends with David Blaine. And that's why in the first David Blaine video, Leonardo DiCaprio was randomly interviewed to be like, "He's great. This is the future of magic." And it's the only reason he even got seen in things. It's fucking crazy. They're the Pussy Posse, young, dumb, and like, we can do anything we want. Just look it
Salo or
up.
the
Just look
Get
it up.
off
120
the
Days
pussy.
of Sodom,
spent
directed
so-
by Pier Paolo Pasolini, 1976.
I think about it literally every 6 months. I forget, then I remember, then I
Pussy Posse.
Google, I read things, and I'm just amazed. I'm just like, how? Like, people were just like, mm-hmm. There's a whole movie called Don's Plum that they were all in, and they improvise, and I guess you see Leo's balls or something, and now you're not allowed to
let's-
see the movie
hold up.
anymore.
Let's talk about the Jonah Hill dick in this movie.
Amazing.
Oh,
You-
great.
Amazing.
It's fake dick.
and
I don't know, man. He might be just
No,
packing
I'm pretty
heat.
sure. I'm pretty
that's-
sure
I
it's
don't
a
know. He
fake
might be
dick.
packing
the
heat.
way it
You
flops.
gotta fuck her, Jordan.
But hey, we love
Leo.
the dick. We love a dick, real or not.
More movies need to show dick. We're advocates of that in this.
We're not
in this
advocates
podcast.
of people randomly whipping out
No,
their
no,
dick.
no, no.
We're not.
We're actually the opposite of that.
Exactly.
Do
That's
not
what-
whip
I'm
it out.
Explicitly
Thank
stating
you.
it.
We're advocates of seeing dong in movie. In the movie, context don't matter. Let's see that dong-a-linger.
Have you ever seen Thunder Gun? I hear he hang his dong.
Oh my god! I was like, wait a minute. There's no
was
real
like,
movie
I'm-
called Thunder Gun.
Those are so
Thunder Gun
familiar.
Express.
Thunder Gun
Here he
Express?
hangs down.
I hear he hangs dong.
Not enough. Is this the first dong in a Sassy? Actually, because wait, who's that knocking at my door? You can kind of tell a few times. It's
Well,
like
hold on. You just go, like.
we did. We
Still-
literally paused and rewound
We
because
did.
the movie
No,
sucked.
I remember that we did.
The movie sucked, and we were like, "What dong?"
Is that his dick?
You're like, "Hold on."
We need something to
Come a
hold
long
on
way
to.
from who's that knocking at my door. Come a long
Amen,
way.
sister.
God,
Thank God we're here.
we're back, baby.
Is this the only dong?
Might be.
Officially, yeah.
What's
mean,
the best one?
Literally think about the other movies. There's no way.
Wait, do we see Nick Nolte's dong in Cape Fear?
No, we don't see it. Hugo, when he's jerking in the corner.
What do you think he does in the clock towers all day?
The automaton.
He's a 12-year-old boy.
In the cock towers.
I know. It was in my head, and I was like, I'm not gonna
Too
say
easy,
it.
dude.
I'm not gonna be the one to
Is the
say it.
por-
It
is
won't
the
be
porn
me.
title of Hugo Hugo?
If you're making a porn title with Hugo, I would like to. I would like to take you.
Sex doll.
I would like to take you personally to prison. If you make a porn
I'm not gonna
version,
make that.
I'm saying
already did.
anybody.
He's Hugo.
Huge. Oh. Gold. Okay. We
Okay.
love the dong.
We love
We
the
love
Is
dong.
it time?
Dong.
We've talked about everything. Is it time to be blunt?
Is it?
I
Before we be blunt, is there anything anybody else wants to say?
About the film.
If I got
Whoa.
anything, I don't know. Like this
So you don't.
movie,
I'm
No, I don't
sorry.
think
We're
so.
out of practice and we're wiling out
Yeah.
tonight. We hope
This
you had
shit's
fun.
Crazy.
Hey, we've been here over 2 hours at this point.
I'm also sorry to Jesse when he has to go back and re-listen to this and go, "What the fuck are we even saying?"
No, I love it. Every time I listen back, if it's funny, it's always good.
This is.
I had a good time.
I've listened to just about every episode of the Chronic Canon, and this is
Nerd.
about off the rails. I can't even say as off the rails.
You've
as it's
gotten
ever
on the
gotten.
energy. You were trying to
Yes.
rail us in, but
We
now you
had a
haven't.
couple though.
Let me direct. All right, we're getting blunt.
Boxcar Bertha was the
That's
first
right.
one.
We're getting blunt. Marty says we're getting blunt.
Okay, Marty, get blunt. Well, you don't get a vote.
No,
in the-
I don't get a vote in the
You
canon.
don't get
so.
a vote in Canon, but be blunt about how you feel about Wolf.
I'm gonna start with the bad. On the rewatch, I do feel like there's a bit of like the edgy, fucking teen, late high school, early college bravado here. That's a little cringy.
Yeah, purposely debaucherous.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, but I feel like some of it is like meant to actually stick with that crowd. Like especially very early
Well,
on.
I think
when
it's
you're rooting
supposed-
for him.
I think it because it has a flip because the movie turns into the most dour, dark,
No, for
depressing
sure.
thing
For
by
sure,
the
for
end.
sure.
So
I know
like,
what- I get what you're
think
saying.
I do get what you're saying too, but I think it's almost the same principle of how Corinne was advertising Spring Breakers for the audience of the people that would go to Spring Break.
Totally
and the movie
agree.
is the absolute antithesis of anything they ever want.
Totally
to see.
agree. And that's a perfect example. But I feel like this is definitely like the stock bro from high school movie that
sure.
like which does stick with, I don't know. This movie's great and I like it a lot. And I think everyone is cast very well and they do a good job. And it is
It's in your top tier, Sassy.
it is in my top tier of sassy, yes. And it's, man, I really like the movie and it's got flaws, but I really like the movie.
Mhm.
That's how I'm going to go. I'm blunt.
You've been blunt.
Hello,
What's your
Blunt.
grade?
Out of
This
five
is
here.
this is a low 4 out of 5 for me.
Okay.
A low 4 out of 5.
Oh, you're a stickler.
I'm a big sticker. This is
Reminder from 2 hours ago.
a low 4 out of 5 for me.
All
Okay.
right. Frank,
Me?
any thoughts?
Great movie. This was the third time I've seen it. I only saw it the once in theaters before we rewatched as a group, and then today, this morning, this was my favorite watch of it for sure. Third time's a charm, they say. I hear.
Good job.
So out of 5.
I said 4, but then as we were talking about it earlier, and I realized how much I'm just like fucking with it, it's a 4.5.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
but on my ranking list, which I'm gonna talk to you guys about later, because I don't know what to do with Raging Bull, and it's fucking up my whole thing.
We gotta
It's like,
rewatch it.
But no, my whole thing is that I've stuck with the guns of like when I pick something, it stays there, and I don't want to mess with
Oh,
it.
fuck that.
So I
I
can't
also say fuck
reevaluate.
that.
Absolutely.
But
I do
also,
every time.
I want you to
That's
live in
fucks
your
with
own
everything.
trap in
Hold on.
prison, so no, don't move
Okay,
anything.
no matter
Suffer.
what.
I'm gonna get big for a second. I'll let you get back. I'm directing real quick.
Yeah, go for it, Mr.
I know.
Sassy.
No, but like movies last for such a brief fucking portion of your life. Isn't half of your enjoyment of the movie remembering the fucking movie? Because you can only
Absolutely.
Yeah, big time.
Okay, perfect. So us just, getting ramshackle, stupid bullshit talk about this. It makes you feel good. You watched it this morning, the little feeling you had after. Re-rank your bullshit. It doesn't matter.
No, I was gonna
Okay,
say
then-
actually, when it comes to this movie, when I'm being blunt, it takes me remembering the fact that I'm like, right. I watched this movie over a month ago. There's been a lot of sessies that like a week later we'd go to talk about it and I couldn't in depth go at the specific things in the movie, especially, but even generally how I felt about the whole thing a lot of the time when it depends on the movie. But this is a great example of something that has staying power where like I can remember practically everything that happens in this movie. And it's a long, big, like fat movie full of stuff. So the fact that I can
movie.
the fact that I can
It's almost 3
retain,
hours, right?
the fact that I
It
can
is
retain
3
all
hours.
that
Damn.
is a good sign to me, and I think it was ultimately the thing too that ultimately put it over the cliff where I was like 4.5 out of 5. It's a great movie.
I'm
I
back to
think-
Frank. Yeah, Frank didn't finish.
Well, just that all my I don't know where it ranks then, and at this moment, all my 4.5s are where I'm having struggle. I have 4: New York, Color of Money, Raging Bull, Wolf of Wall Street. I don't know how to rank those 4, but I know those are the 4 that are standing there that are like one day we could be favorites, and it's like
Right.
those 4 are near and dear to my fucking heart, and it belongs in the conversation with them, which means I don't think Silence is going to blow us away next week, but it's almost guaranteed to be top 10.
I hope it
Sassy.
does.
It's top 10 Sassy. Wolf of Wall Street's top 10 Sassy. I fuck with
Fucking
it.
so
and
easy.
I'm
I
voting
don't know.
for,
Definitely
I'm voting
top
for
10.
Chronic
So
Canon.
easy.
I'm
Yeah.
voting it goes in.
Early. I'm directing early. That's way early.
No, that's a part of me being blunt. Is me voting.
Yeah, I'd voted
I
in
thought the
as
vote
well.
was after, but
no, no, no.
To
It's during being
and
blunt.
the official vote.
Isn't it?
The official vote is
thought it
no.
was.
We always
No, it's
say
always after.
the official vote is always after. But initially, when we're being blunt, we do say whether or not we want it to be in the canon. We just don't say whether or not it is until the end.
Canon worthy.
So it's both. It's both.
right, John, I'm
you
fucked
are
up.
correct, and you are correct.
he's done some directing in his day.
All right, well, fuck it. Jesse and
I
Harry
can
both
direct it
voted,
too.
so you got to be blunt. And
Let
then just
me
tell us
be
your vote.
blunt.
I know, be
Fucking
blunt and
slow
then tell
down.
us.
Pump the brakes. Take
What
a
do you
lose.
mean?
Get off the phone. The FBI. Motherfucker. Women show.
Shit about Chop.
You don't know shit about Chop.
So,
Smoke crack with me, bro.
newsflash, big surprise. Love this movie. This was the one that I was like excited for because I was like, this is the only one I've seen. This is the only one I have context
Going
for.
into
this
Sassy Other Than Irishman, right? That was
other
it?
than Irishman, this was the only
Before starting Chronic
the
Canon.
only Sassy that I had seen, and I like Vince really loved this movie when I saw it in high school, and like had the whole like sneaking into the theater experience. Shout out to Jesse for helping us with that. And just like this movie, like it's not like I don't want to say it was like near and dear to my heart, but when I thought about things that were great and things that were funny, I always came to this movie. And now even seeing it, years later, even now after I've grown. Using air quotes, grown out of my immature like humor phase where it's like, it's fucking dick jokes and just fucking sucking dick. This is great. Blah 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 blah. An actual penis, yes. Like even as like an adult, as the government would see me, not as I see me. Even as an adult, I was just like, man, this movie is hilarious. It slaps, and I think it's hitting in all the right places that it's supposed to. And so I don't remember if I gave it a 4 or 4.5, but I know that it was, competing and fighting with Raging Bull, and Raging Bull is the one that's been like safeguarding my top 5, where it's like you have to get past the boxer if you even want to get up there. Yeah. And so far, no, I guess people have been slipping past, but not a lot. The only one that's actually surprising is that Kundun made it to everybody in the world. I liked it. So, I didn't think that, I would be unanimous on this, but I definitely would like love this in the canon.
I think I would have had to think about it more if I didn't watch it today, but I still feel like I would have said yes. Because this is the one for this generation. This is this generation's version of this story.
Yes.
I feel like this is the one type of tale he needs to retell over and over because he's like, you guys gotta get it. Like, we gotta change.
Yeah.
He never had and he never will tell us the same story this way. He's told the same story over and over and over again, but he never had and he never will tell it this way.
And the world of Wall Street's new to him.
Yes.
Like when you think about like this
day,
falls into the same kind of movie. Like that's why it feels like a Sassy, because it feels like a Goodfellas or a Casino or a mob movie, because they're all like criminals. But it's like they're also, but they're they're a completely different kind of criminal. It's a completely different kind of world.
We're out of the streets and we're into the offices.
Yep. The corporate side of crime.
Gross. The grosser side of crime.
I respect mobsters.
But that's why I was like, this movie, and I mean, like,
the freaking
Gabagool.
Shout out again to past guest Nick, who has been having a lot of talks with me recently about film, and one of the talks we've been having is just like all movies that we watch now, like just feel more poignant in 2020. Just like all movies, and some
carry like
weird
this
capacity.
weight to them.
Yeah, like for some reason, 2020 has just like opened up the floodgates to like the mass seeing like what the real underbelly of America and the world and stuff like at its
everybody's
truest form.
waking up.
So the pandemic is tearing us apart. And fucking go ahead.
Anytime someone's sick in a movie, I'm like, they knew.
I was going to mention
fucking
Danny
knew.
Boyle.
Yeah.
I was going to mention 28 Days Later.
Yeah.
Like,
But so when you think about this movie, I'm just like, yes, the government, the election, all these people that with the power and the money and the crazy. I don't know. Like it felt
laughing
like
on their boots.
Yeah, it feels like a very important movie.
Yes.
Not just to the context of Sassy, but it feels like an important movie, especially in American cinema, because
agree.
not many American movies go this long and this hard about this kind of thing.
So you heard it here first, folks. Well, The Wolf of Wall Street is in the Crown Canon.
And it's long and hard.
let's make them official. In the canon, Frank.
Yes.
In the canon, Jesse.
yes.
In the canon, Brandon.
Yes.
That's right, me. It's in the fucking canon.
It's in the canon, baby.
That's right.
That's right. And along with
you know.
so this is the final Leo.
Yeah, this is the last Leo
until
until the Killer of the Flower
Killer
Moon,
of the
which will
Flower-
also
Ready?
be the last.
Director, segue, go.
this is the last Leo. What?
You
That
had
was the
something-
segue
to what? Go.
to talk about Leo.
Yeah, go.
Okay, the best Leo.
There it is.
We love Leo.
I'm blaming that on the performance, not the direction.
Okay, perfect. That's good directing. Blame the actor.
You've evolved the cocaine Marty.
That's good.
He's evolved the
Direct.
cocaine
Marty's
Marty.
here.
You've been in the game too long.
You need to relax.
Okay, what we need to talk about, our favorite Leos. We need to talk Leo versus De Niro. We need to talk about how we feel about all these things. I can't think of anything else to talk about. And just a big old goodbye to Leonardo DiCaprio.
Because
just a
we
big
have
ol'
enjoyed
send-up,
our
big ol'
time with you.
salute.
So we all can agree. Gangs of New York and Shutter Island are not in the conversation.
Not at all. Not even a little.
If we're talking performance,
Yeah.
if we're talking performance, he is not in the conversation.
No.
From an outsider's perspective, I don't know. I feel like you liked Shutter Island a decent amount.
Like more than like them. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I think
we
I'm
all
with
rated
you.
it the same. I think we all gave it like a 3.5.
I give it a 2.5.
2.5.
Both of us gave it 2.5.
I think I'm like
The biggest
you're 3.5,
disappointment
but I'm like
of
a
all time.
I-
Like should have been a
I
masterpiece.
didn't have the
Relax.
context, but I'm like a 3, but like a high. Like we're probably in the same. I like that movie.
It's
okay.
I liked
the
it. I
ending
liked
for
the
me.
best ideas he's
the-
ever
the-
had to work with
the-
and just squandered.
I
it.
will not, disagree with all the fucked up bullshit in the middle, but somehow at the end, I'm just
The
like,
end, I was
I'm
won
with
over.
it. I'm with
I was
it.
over.
I'm with
Why
it.
are you wet, baby, or whatever? Ben
It's like,
Kingsley
ah,
says.
baby.
Why are you
Rick
wet?
Kingsley.
For me, daddy.
Sorry, wrong movie.
But basically the same when you really think about it. Come for me, tell me why you crazy.
Tell me why.
Okay. So those aren't in the conversation.
So-
The three that we really got to talk about are it's Mr. Howard Hughes, it's Mr. Billy Costigan, and it's Mr. Jordan Belfort.
Yeah.
Three of Leo's best performances, not even in a sexy.
All
I was
wildly
about to- no,
different.
I was about to
All
say, are
wildly
you
different.
are you
No, because I remember even when
fencing this in on the Sessies?
We're gonna start with the Sessies, and then we're gonna
Yeah.
talk about outside.
it
the
felt.
Sessies.
I remember when we watched Aviator, saying that it felt like, based off my recollection of Wolf of Wall Street at the time,
It's
that
in a
Aviator
zone.
was in a similar frame of reference.
They're in a zone.
But
But-
I think
but they
about
are-
the freakouts. I think about like the
Yeah.
health stuff.
How
that
do you know
happens.
this is
No,
more
this is what
dramatic.
happens if Jordan Belfort completely goes off the rails, like
Okay.
literally to the mental point where he's actually going psychologically insane.
I actually think there's more dynamics to Hughes's character.
Oh,
there's more
absolutely.
sides and shades where
Yeah.
like Belfort, even when he's acting different or portraying different emotions, it's still like the same. It's coming from the same place always, where Hughes has different modes of being. And that's
Yes.
that's credit to writing, character, whatever, but at the same time it's like Leo's communicating all that expertly with both. So are those the two? Is Billy Costigan third? Are we doing
I think
Yeah.
Billy Costigan is my least favorite of those.
Damn,
two.
the
I
one, it's
literally-
the plot movie, the one Sessie, like the big Sessie plot movie.
but
I
I,
think
Here's what I-
great
here's
in
what
The
I-
Departed.
He's amazing, but
I
like,
used to fight that was his best. Like tooth
I
and
love
nail.
The Departed.
I think he's like so subtly good and like it's but it's not.
kinda-
No, but if we're
Is
talking
he a
about
fucking
straight
cop?
acting chops, if we're talking about straight acting chops,
Which
then I'm
maybe-
putting The Departed up there. And I know even though you guys fucking hate Shutter Island, I'm putting that up there too. Earlier when we were
the
talking
kids,
about
the dead kids.
Earlier
you're gonna look
when-
me in the eyes and say that was good. Oh God!
Frank Blank.
Oh!
Frank Blank. Earlier, we were talking about scary.
awful.
We were talking about menacing. And the first thing that flashed in my head was Leonardo DiCaprio staring that man in the face and saying, "Tell me the truth." Scariest thing ever. Scariest thing ever.
Keep it together, Teddy. You gotta keep it together. It's not good.
In terms of just acting chops and showing off your range and how much you can do, that's up there for
Yeah,
me.
I didn't think he was horrible in Shutter
I
Island.
didn't think it was.
I thought it was good.
I think that it's really bad writing.
I
Really bad
totally
writing,
agree.
and like they just didn't know how to make a thing of it.
Okay,
You know?
but then fine. That's number
But
four.
the best number one is Howard Hughes. There's like I honestly do not think anything compares. Like sure, at the highs you can compare it to Jordan Belfort, but
And
the
those
amount
highs were high.
of high baby, and then the crash and then the burn.
Yeah, I guess because but I don't know. Like the only reason
Hughes,
I'd even say
Belfort,
that
Costigan?
Hughes might be the winner is because of the fact that like with Wolf of Wall Street, he's such a confident protagonist. He's such a you feel like you're assured in carrying him carrying the story to its end.
Mhm.
Whereas I feel like even I as an audience member have doubt in Hughes. after a certain point. And it, oddly enough, though, I think that's why the movie hit so hard when you got to the end and you have that sweeping final moment, and then you have that little epilogue that just
works
completely
for you,
takes
Mr.
everything
Hughes.
away from you. And it's just so heart ripping that I don't know. Like, I think that's where DiCaprio has the most range. It's like we said, if we're going to compare between him and De Niro directly with Scorsese's work, it's certainly his Raging Bull where he has the most chance to express himself emotionally on his broad realm of spectrum.
Right, and Wolf is the king of comedy.
Yeah.
Where it's like
Yeah.
it's its own magnetic performance,
Yeah.
but it's something totally. It's like different, but
like,
however,
It's
like
not
like
what
I
you're
said,
watching.
he's
That's
bo-
why
like
I'd
it
argue
felt like something
between-
he was born to do.
between Raging Bull and King of Comedy, I could almost see De Niro being the more impressive on the King of Comedy side because I don't expect that performance from him. Whereas I do expect
sure,
Wolf
for
of
sure.
Wall
Yeah,
Street
but
from
Raging
DiCaprio.
Bull.
Raging Bull is perfect. It's literally perfect for what he's doing.
It's
So-
such a monster.
So is it you guys were saying you had?
I think
Hughes,
it
which-
sounds like we consensus are saying Hughes is one.
Yeah.
I don't
Belfort's
say that,
two.
but-
Well, you're not a part of the vote. And
Goddamn!
Costigan's three.
I thought I wasn't a part of the canon.
no.
Pass the canon.
No, you can
All right,
give
Marty,
your,
Marty's stepping in.
you can
I'm
give your
kidding.
you can give your input. You can give your input.
No. I my context is that I haven't seen The Aviator since I
Okay.
was like 12.
So Belfort's your one or Costigan?
No,
or
Belfort's my one. Belfort and Costigan are the only ones that I really remember caring about.
Okay. It's definitely not Gangs of New York. That's his worst.
Oh God, no.
That's worse than
Amsterdam.
Shutter Island.
Amsterdam.
He's so bad.
With
He's
the biting
so
scene.
bad.
He's the weak link. I
He's-
think
he's
Cameron
literally the-
Diaz is better than him.
Cameron Diaz is great.
In what?
Gangs of New York.
Oh yeah,
She's
Yeah.
great.
yeah.
It's weird.
That's just it's such a fucking weird,
fucking
Weird movie.
It just wanted to do a lot.
I
all right?
wanted to be departed.
It wanted to
And he
do
didn't
so
know
He
it.
much.
wanted to make his epic.
Listen, fucking can't go wrong with any of those three.
No.
I
If
agree.
anybody said that was number one, I'd be like,
Okay.
fuck with you.
Mm-hmm.
Howard Hughes and
Yeah.
Jordan.
Okay.
Belfort.
So
Yeah.
you mentioned something earlier though about comparing him to De Niro, and it ain't close to me.
Okay.
Like
Oh,
which
my-
one?
Oh, the De Niro's better
Oh,
than him?
Oh, not only that De Niro's better than him, but De Niro's better than him in the Sessies.
Oh,
The
definitely.
Irishman is just
It's the greatest thing like
oh
ever.
my goodness.
Best performance.
He'll rip your
ever.
heart out.
Okay.
It
hold
is
on.
okay. Frank's got notes.
What I want to say. And obviously, we haven't done The Irishman yet, but there are 4 De Niro's in the canon, and there are 3 DiCaprio's in the canon.
Officially.
But
Is that including this one?
that's including this one.
Yeah.
But De Niro had more at bats than DiCaprio.
That's true.
DiCaprio went 3 for 5. De Niro went 4 for.
No,
More
8.
than
4 for
fucking
8.
five.
So he had 50%.
Well, is 8 including Irishman?
no, 9.
So he's gonna go 5 for 9.
Yeah.
It's not a surprise.
No,
it's not a
No,
spoiler.
we all know that that's
I-
coming. It's in the
here's the
canon
thing.
pretty
But
much already.
This is
Obvious-
this is with the controversial
King of Comedy being exalted.
disinclusion of King of Comedy and Casino.
That's not controversial. That was never gonna happen.
I think I'm looking at Jesse
King
and
of
his
Co-
soul, and that is controversial.
No, because I don't think he's the best performance in Casino.
Nah.
even
no.
at
But
all.
I'm just saying Casino
Does his job.
I mean Jesse voted for Casino to be in the canon,
You sure did.
and I
It's a
think
painful
that
episode.
I would also vote for it to be in the canon. I mean,
Congratulations, you don't get a vote.
I know. Well, hold on. I'm Marty. I am the vote. So-
I am.
He
the
is
vote.
the proverbial.
Listen,
I am the
Listen,
council.
I understand King of Comedy is controversial, but even more so to the point, De
Yes.
Niro technically is our favorite as a whole, and I do think he's a better actor as a whole. But that's not to diss fucking DiCaprio. I feel like the 3
Agreed.
DiCaprio brought are just as strong as like the 3 best of De Niro.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
heat.
Like it's he comes in hot. Like Gangs of New York and Shutter Island are definitely like missteps, but like Aviator, Departed, Wolf, it's like whoo, it's fucking whoo. 2 of those are my top 5. The fucking mean.
How you do that? How you
But
do
I
that?
do agree with Jordan that it's like you don't even fucking touch De Niro.
You don't.
Like
See,
as a-
it's
you
weird
don't.
because,
De Niro
like-
has more range.
I totally see. Well, first of all, you don't want to. You know, you hate to compare two great people, and how like these two are like the bridges of Sassy between generations.
Mhm.
Like the past Sassy, like De Niro held it down, and he made sure that he could pass the torch onto DiCaprio, who's been holding it down in this era ever since. And it's weird because it's hard to say because I feel like, you know, De Niro doesn't get the same chance as Leo did with me in terms of context of career and in terms of like familiarity with Sassy for like the, you know, our top ranking De Niro's I'm pretty sure every single one of them for me was a struggle to come forward with that love because it was still me learning about who Sassy was. By the time we get to fucking The Departed, by the time we get to Wolf of Wall Street, I'm like, yeah, Sassy, I literally understand you. Sorry for doubting you before. Let me just absorb this as it is. So, you know, the power of De Niro definitely is in the way that it sits and lingers with you, but I won't deny the power of DiCaprio and just putting you there. And it's like, here we are.
Frank just said that like the range, De Niro's range is way bigger. I don't know if that's actually the case.
Come on.
No, DiCaprio's highs are way more frenetic and I don't know.
You see me?
DiCaprio has
You see me?
I think De Niro has an easier time disappearing into the
Oh my
role.
god. I just think so. I don't think De Niro could ever do like the crazy I'm a madman sort of frenetic, awesome.
Cape Fear?
I was supposed to say Max
I'm
Cady?
saying but in Cape Fear, he's not that guy that you love. In Wolf, I know we all love him. We all love him. But in Wolf of Wall Street, we all weirdly love Jordan Belfort.
I wouldn't say I love him. I love Donnie Ossoff.
Okay,
I'm in.
Okay, but like
love him.
the point,
love Jordan Belfort.
The other side of that kind of aids your point is that DiCaprio could never do like in The Irishman when Frank Sheeran calls
Stop.
Hoffa's wife.
No.
And
Thelma's big in that too, though.
Oh my
like
God,
the editing in that
I'm
scene.
literally about to cry right now.
That scene is too much.
Too big.
It's okay.
That's my favorite 30 seconds of Robert De Niro.
Yep.
Of maybe any movie ever.
Even when he's sitting there with Anna Paquin and she has the one line that she has in the whole movie and then his reaction to her saying that to him.
I read a review that likened that moment to the Captain Phillips ending where it was like sudden burst of like uncontrollable like emotion where it's like, I wasn't ready for this. Oh my God.
Because
And
the
it's
entire
like,
movie, they've been so contained.
Yep. And it's just like, how do you literally process the performance in front of you? It's too raw. It's so sudden. Yeah,
It feels like
it's
you're seeing
the
something you're not
greatest
supposed to be
30
watching.
seconds of acting from both
goosebumps.
of them.
And it's
Fuck you.
literally like
So The Irishman's the best.
What does he
We're
say?
seeing-
What does he-
it's the exact opposite as the Taxi Driver. When he makes the phone call to the girl and the camera's like, I don't want to fucking look at this.
Well, no,
Let's-
it keeps
That's just
no.
super
It
disassociative.
keeps cutting away. It keeps going
Yeah.
to different It's making it shorter. It won't let you watch the entire exchange in one unbroken tape because, like, I can't. Like, and that's
Yeah.
also the way that De Niro's processing it because
Okay.
he can barely handle what's going on.
I
but
thought
they
of a
fucking
fun
make
little
you stare at
exercise.
that shit
Let's
in The
see it.
Irishman.
I thought of a fun little exercise, and we gotta think about always age appropriate, not like right now versus then. Okay, could Leo play Jimmy Conway? No, the answer
No.
is fucking no. He would never
No.
be able to play Jimmy Conway good. Could De Niro do Howard Hughes? I don't know
Yes.
what order. Hold on, this is a bad
No.
order.
I think
that
he
I'm doing
could
this.
have
Yes.
in the 70s.
Yes, at
Yes.
some point, I think De Niro could have pulled that off. Could
Howard
De Niro-
Hughes?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I think
In the
there's a version-
70s,
There's
Johnny
Howard-
Boy.
Johnny Boy. That's how I would liken him to being like
Johnny Boy
chaotic.
combined with Travis Bickle.
No, because I feel like the
And
moment,
fucking what's
the
his name?
moment,
With a hat
the
on? Oh my
moment,
God.
the moment De Niro would try to break down into his fits of OCD, it would just be, it wouldn't work out. He wouldn't be able to do it right.
I feel that.
I don't know.
think-
man.
I don't know.
Think
There's
about
a,
it.
there's a certain gravity. There's a certain gravity to the way you have to perform that scene in order to make you actually feel it and
Yeah.
believe it,
I
and for
think-
you not to think it's ridiculous. Leo, like theoretically, Leo's hiding in that bathroom, waiting to get out, should be the funniest fucking thing. Just
You
like you
haven't seen
idiot,
Hi, Mom.
open the door. But you're there. You're right there with him. Where
Yeah,
you're like,
but
don't touch
what,
the
you
door.
don't think De Niro could do that?
I don't
Maybe
think he
not.
would be able to perform it.
I don't
Maybe
think, I
not.
disagree.
I'm putting mostly.
And also,
yes.
Leo,
So, this
Leo
seems like-
totally could do Jimmy.
There's a Venn diagram here.
You think Leo could do Jimmy Conway?
Sell that.
Just
No.
as bad-
Intimidating
Intimidating
Goodfellas
mob
Jimmy
boss.
Conway?
Oh, sorry. I was thinking of Jimmy
Doyle?
Yeah,
He could
I'm
totally do
imagining
Jimmy Doyle.
that's
the-
definitely a
Oh, we're
yes,
not there
Frank.
yet. We're not there yet.
What's the Cream song that plays in Goodfellas?
Sunshine Your Love.
Yeah, I'm
That
imagining like
gaze.
Leo
Leo,
DiCaprio
that'd be the
looking-
dumbest shit I'd ever
Fucking
seen.
no.
That's the
Yeah.
Inception
No.
meme. Squinting. Just like, no thanks. All right, Departed. He could. De Niro could do
Oh,
Costa.
Oh, yeah, he could.
Yes.
De
Are you
Niro
kidding
is
me?
Costigan.
Yeah. Okay.
He's the Irishman.
Leo could not do Taxi Driver.
Not a fucking
No.
chance.
You wouldn't be able to
No.
sell it. It would be funny.
It would be.
You know what's
It wouldn't be
sucks? We're
funny,
kinda
it would be
ragging on De
awkward,
Niro
it would
now.
be
He's
weird.
Amazing.
No,
the only
I think we're
time
ragging on
the
Leo.
only time DiCaprio
Oh,
could have
sorry.
ever
That's what I
done
meant to
it.
say DiCaprio.
I think the only-
whatever. Same guy. Where's the fucking gabagoo?
Are we saying mostly yes for New York, New York? Because I don't think so, but you both said yeah.
I just
think
think
he
that
totally
character
could.
could have
used more charisma than De Niro brought to
I
it.
saw that movie when I was 10. And thanks, I hated it.
Yeah, no, good. I'm glad
Thanks,
someone's
I
with
hated
me.
it.
I think I like it more in
All right, I'm
retrospect.
saying mostly yes. Raging Bull, no fucking way.
No.
he has ever pulled
No
it.
dice.
No
Is
dice.
that like the most De Niro performance
Yes.
ever?
Yes.
That shit rules.
No,
Oh,
Meet the
man.
Fockers.
I don't think DiCaprio could do.
I've got nipples. Greg, can you milk me?
I got nipples,
Wolf
Greg.
of Wall
Could you milk
Street.
me?
I'm gonna say no. Actually,
No,
I don't think
that's
DiCaprio
very.
De Niro
That's
would
what I'm
be
saying.
able
That's
to
like
do
on the extreme side of De Niro.
Okay, I got a weird.
Or sorry, fucking DiCaprio. God damn it.
Cape Fear. I'm actually gonna say yes. I kind of want to see Leo.
I think
dude.
it would be-
That's the better Django.
Oh, yeah.
I
that
think we
is
would
exactly
get the. I
what
think
that
we would
is.
get the same. I think
same
we'd get
performance.
we'd get the same feel from like the Sessy's version of Max Cady, where it's like I actually don't remember if you guys were on the same page as me, where the original Cape Fear that Max Cady was actually like scarier
Oh,
to
no,
me.
I'm 1001% on that page.
And more, but like also more charismatic and likable, and that was what's like fucking me up and shit.
De
But
Niro's just crazy.
I think that if DiCaprio, we would still have that same feeling of like, oh, I think I like the past Max Cady better.
Sure.
But I think this version, it would take away the whole like, not as charismatic. Like, I think you would be enticed by, you would understand why she's in that theater with this guy smoking pot. That's what I'm saying.
So-
it's Leo.
Who directs Cape Fear 3, Cape Fearier, or whatever?
Brian Palma.
Who directs it starring or with Leonardo DiCaprio as Max Cady?
Ari Aster.
Quentin Tarantino, maybe.
Tarantino or I?
Because that might be his
You think
horror
Fincher?
movie. Nah.
No, that's not.
It's
That's
too
not
in his
surgical.
wheelhouse.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
He's already done it before in a
I
way,
think
you know.
Tarantino with the Max Cady
be
could
fun.
be pretty fun.
No, Tarantino could
Which
do
is
that.
not the adjective
Brad
I want to
Pitt,
say.
Brad
with Kev.
Pitt, and the Nick
You'd probably
Nolte
get a lot
role.
more Cady.
Cape Fear should not be a fun movie.
Imagine that movie. Brad
Yeah.
Pitt is the hero and DiCaprio's the villain.
That'd be
I would
dope.
actually, I would buy it.
I'd like that.
DiCaprio's the heavy.
Okay,
I like that.
I was trying to make this a quick thing.
It's not a quick thing.
Never.
King of
It's the chronic
Comedy.
canon.
I wrote down weirdly yes.
No.
Like I feel like DiCaprio might be able to do that in
Yes.
a weird way.
I just
It
think
wouldn't be
he's
better.
too.
It wouldn't be better. But I think
It's a
Catch
totally
me
different
if-
movie.
Okay,
I
but
think
like-
he's too famous, and I think if anything, that only makes the movie meta in a way that doesn't work. Like
think
it's too famous. Like De Niro wasn't even that famous by that point.
He
I
won
don't
the
think.
Oscar for
Yeah, I
being
guess.
I'm moving out of the realm of Sexy just a little bit. But have you guys seen Catch Me If You Can?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
One
Like-
of his best
Yeah.
performances.
Like
I forget about
the way
that
that
movie.
he acts in that movie, I feel like you could easily translate that over into King Comedy. That whole like I'm just living on the fly, doing what I gotta
I just
do,
don't
and
know
I'm
if
gonna
I
be the
buy
best
him as
at
like
it.
a star, like kind of scary, like imposing a bit. you
Yeah,
know?
but like I don't know.
That's the reason why De Niro works. I don't
No.
think DiCaprio's imposing.
I
not
wrote
to me,
somewhat
he's
no.
not that imposing on the first
I like
first
that.
watch.
Someone here's the thing when you do like this sort of thought exercise. Just imagine like the two most famous lines in the movie. It's like would De Niro say, or God damn it, would DiCaprio say, "Here's a picture of my pride and joy," and would it be as funny as De Niro? And no, it
Maybe
wouldn't.
Yeah,
DiCaprio. No, if I think that he
If
can be imposing in Cape Fear,
If he played it off like the right way, of like the way he does it, walking himself. Oh wait, Jerry, I wanted to show you a picture of my pride
He's
and joy.
too charming. Always. DiCaprio can't not be charming. That's why Cape Fear's a yes, and I think King of Comedy
Charming
is
in the way
mostly a
like
no.
You know
It's
what?
like
Because
grandson.
if Rupert,
grandson is charming.
I think
not
that's
in
the
way
whole
that,
thing.
like-
that's
Yeah.
literally the whole thing with King
That's the
Comedy
whole
is that
thing.
if
Yeah.
Rupert was
DiCaprio did
charming,
Casino.
if Rupert was good, if Rupert was any of these things, then what he's doing would be working.
Yep.
And that's why it's not.
For Gangs in New York, I wrote "Who cares?" Like I don't even care to
Amen.
think about it. Who
Amen.
cares?
It's still. I think I
Sure.
would like to see De Niro's Bill the Butcher and like save
But
some of
that's
that.
not what we're talking
I
about.
know.
Sure. So who cares? Sure.
All right, we're over it already.
Shutter Island? Yes.
Yeah,
I wish
I
I,
could
had
see.
the De
Oh,
Niro
yeah.
version.
I'd give it a
So
shot.
if it's a old De Niro, who plays the Mark Buffalo?
You mean back in the day?
Yeah. I mean, because it's not obviously any like if it's De Niro
Right.
of the
time.
era, yeah.
I don't know. 'Cause It's
Pesci.
not Pesci. It's not fucking Pesci, bro.
It's fucking Pesci.
James Woods.
No.
Another?
No.
Another?
That's
He's a
not
little
bad.
skeezy.
It's not bad. You need somebody like
No, you need someone
Love-
comforting. You need someone
Lovin'?
comforting.
Lovin'. Mark Ruffalo's his
Oh.
rock.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh.
Pacino.
loving
that's wrong.
Pacino.
Narnia. How do you think you got here?
Ben Stiller, Meet the Parents reunion.
I don't know who's playing Ruffalo.
Okay.
No. I
No.
think
No.
I think
I'd give it a
DiCaprio
shot.
could
I
do
think
it.
he could
I'd give
do
it
it,
a
but again,
shot.
I don't.
He just had to build himself a little more.
Because the places where that movie sort of falls short for me aren't really on like
There's
De
no
De Niro,
charisma
I
in
mean,
De Niro's character at all.
no,
Like,
you
there's
literally
none.
don't like. You're like, ugh.
This is weird. I imagine like a shot, like kind of like down, looking up at like the character looking down at the camera. You see the full chin, the jawline, and I imagine it being De Niro, and I see Casino, and I see Goodfellas, and then I imagine it being DiCaprio, and I see somebody way more fucking like menacing, but not in the way that they are in like De Niro's character is kind of menacing in Casino,
Yeah.
but he's not like evil menacing.
it's like
No,
a stoic man.
yeah, you don't think De
Yeah.
Niro's gonna
Like your
screw you
dad,
over?
your girlfriend's dad.
Literally.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's
Yeah.
De Niro.
But
That's
like-
De Niro energy.
if it's this shot of DiCaprio looking down, like
Right.
shadows on his
It's no
eyelids,
good.
there's like, oh fuck, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not De Niro.
All right. So fun, quick, not quick exercise. That's 4 times we think De Niro could have done. Of the 5, we said 4 times we thought De Niro for sure could do it pretty much.
The goat.
And only twice we thought DiCaprio could do what De Niro did. That's the proof in the pudding, baby.
Damn.
De Niro win. De Niro the king of the Sassy, baby.
Well, I
but
like
we still respect DiCap.
Yeah, so much. Please don't
The
take this
Cap.
as we don't
And
like DiCaprio.
To
All
me
caps.
personally, I thought about this. The
No
only
cap.
2 I think that even come close outside of Sassy are Catch Me If You Can and The Revenant, personally. But I also would 100% hear the argument for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But
thank
that's
you.
where I'm cutting it off.
Thank you.
I don't know, man. What's eating Gilbert Grape?
I've never seen it.
Titanic.
So I buy it. Titanic, he's not that
What's
good.
eating Gilbert
actually.
Grape may not have aged well. I don't know.
It might not have aged well,
Yeah,
but at the
those 10.
at the
Yeah.
time, I was crying.
Actually, I've seen people kind of defend it in like recent years of being like, this is surprisingly held up and it's because of the filmmaking or something. I don't know. Never seen it, so I don't give a shit.
Listen, man. There's a way you could do
It's just
things.
like-
It's like not everyone was insensitive. I don't know.
Right.
It's just like there's a big
You
chance
guys,
that they
you guys
were.
don't seem to like Leonardo and Django, do you?
No,
No,
I think
like-
he's horribly miscast.
Yeah. It's
I don't
just
know.
you know, you guys use the word kitsch. It's a bit kitschy, just like a bit quirky, just a bit like,
I think
eh.
it's- I think
That's-
You're
I
a
think that's
fucking,
Tarantino.
you're a super,
I know.
you're a fucking,
Which
you're a
is why-
movie villain, which like works in some instances and in some instances doesn't. Like with a spaghetti western slave movie.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not. I'm
I
not a
don't- I
fan of
think-
the movie in general, but I also think he's the worst part about it.
I'm upset
Personally.
about how much I used to love it, and I've tried to make up for it by viscerally hating it.
Oh, I really like Django, and I think he's very good in it. I totally see what he's. I mean, he's a one note,
Yeah,
and he's like, he is like the villain that you would make in a movie like that.
Though I will say, Django does have a really, really, really funny bit in the house. Say goodbye, to Miss Tora.
Bye, Miss Laura. Bye, Miss Laura. Bam!
Immediately fucking shoots her. She fucking flies.
In a direction that makes no fucking sense.
No
with it.
sense.
can I? And I just want.
Bye, Miss Laura. Bam. Immediately.
I just
I'm
want
gonna
to
watch
say,
Django tonight
why?
because I want to.
There's better movies like Heat.
Yeah, why watch
Shit, I
Django
forgot
when
we
you
still
can
We
watch
all
Heat?
come back to Heat.
We're gonna watch Heat
I
tonight.
literally would.
We're gonna get Tanya's pizza. And like,
Tatiana's
Close.
Pizza.
Close now.
we're gonna get Tatiana's pizza.
I am an Inception defender all day, every day. Love that movie.
Yes,
but Leah's pretty bad in it.
Never
But
seen
I
it.
almost
Rough.
so think that's kind of the fun of the movie. But it's like not a good performance. It's like the Shutter Island level of like, what are you doing?
I thought you said Joseph Gordon-Levitt was like bad, or is
Nah,
he the one
he's
that's great?
real
They're
bad.
like all bad.
Yeah, no, it's,
Tom Hardy is good.
Hardy. If he's the new James Bond, it's like because somebody watched Inception and was like, right.
Tom Hardy's fucking dope.
Tom Hardy is.
I
Fucking
like
dope.
fucking Tom
Oh,
Hardy.
God,
I don't
Pelts.
like fucking Tom Hardy. I like Tom Hardy.
I mean, I'd probably.
I'd probably
yeah.
like fucking Tom
No,
Hardy.
no. I'd like getting fucked by Tom
Yeah.
Hardy. Are you kidding
I don't
me?
get the other
I'm
one
not
wouldn't
fucking
happen.
Tom Hardy. He'd be like, get the fuck out of flip.
Yeah, this is what makes sense. My
I
bad.
guess you're right, sir. Sorry.
Synergy.
And that's how we should close the pod.
And that, with that said, Jordan, how did you feel about your experience on the
I'm
Chronic?
sorry, it was so chaotic.
I loved it. This was off the rails, and it's.
Would you
amazing.
come back?
I'm gonna beg to come back.
Earmuffs.
do-
Earmuffs. Would we have Jordan back?
Huh?
Would we have Jordan back on the
For sure.
podcast?
Yo, fuck yeah.
Okay, yes,
for
of
sure.
course we would. That's why I was just hoping that
For
we're
sure.
making sure.
You
you know?
better have me back.
Absolutely
because
not.
thematically,
We
you're gonna
hate
have a-
Jordan.
I mean,
You
hey,
haven't-
we're doing Howie Bling next. Potentially.
Oh, hey!
I'll cut it. out.
Holy shit! I'm
I'll
gonna
cut it
come.
out.
Potentially.
Yeah,
But-
we're 100% doing the Safdie's next one.
There's gonna even in this
The
Even it-
final episode.
even in this chronology, there's gonna be another poster that I have to gift to you.
So we have another
You have another. I'm gonna
episode.
come
Oh my
bearing.
God.
So when you
gifts.
get
You
it,
hear
we
that?
gotta
You
have
hear
you
that,
on.
fans?
I know
It's
You're
going
gonna-
to be. It's going to be the coolest, most reserved Criterion movie cover ever.
I'm so excited.
You hear that, fans? Jordan's
The
getting us
beautiful
gifts.
ring.
What are you gonna do about it?
And
I knew it. I said.
it's sexy. So
I can't wait
That's
to
what I said,
see
it's
it.
gonna be
I don't
right
want to
under
even think
that.
about it. I
Those are
want it
the
to be a
two-
surprise.
And then we gotta get a minimalist
For The Office.
uncut gems one, and
Yeah,
then
we
that's the
definitely need
Trinity.
Uncut Gems. That's
no, you
true.
gotta
Well,
get.
we have the basketball.
No, you gotta get a guy like fist deep in a salmon. That's what you gotta get for the. Have you seen this? It's a salmon with one guy grabbing its head and then the other hand just like reaching up it.
Why?
Uncut gems.
What? That's
Oh,
an
Uncut
amazing fucking poster for
forget-
Uncut Gems.
I never saw that.
Oh my god, it's so good.
I actually haven't seen it either,
going
but
on
the
Etsy.
idea sounds
I
amazing.
I know.
what
I
they
don't remember if
got.
it was on Etsy. I think it might have been just like a Twitter guy. I follow a bazillion.
That's a great one.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
That's with the Furby.
Uh-huh.
All right, we're done.
Yeah.
I'm
Holy
Frank.
shit! I'm
I'm
gonna
Jesse.
come.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Jordan.
Come for me, daddy.
Signing off.
That
All
was
right,
wrong.
and
That was
bye-bye.
not the-
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
guys.
The way of
Love you
future.
guys.
And the way of
Thanks.
future.
Wait. Jordan, where do you want to plug any of the
Oh,
shit you do in
yeah.
your life?
Yeah.
I run a home studio. We do audio recordings. We do movie scores. We do voiceover. We do music. Lots of music. It's the Vault Studio at the_Vault_Studio_Michigan on Instagram. We post cool guitar videos and fun shit that
Do you wanna
happens in the
promote your
studio. I play guitar and write the songs and sing in somewhere south of here.
They're so fucking good.
Yes.
They're
Not a
pretty genuine
location, a
fans.
band.
It's like
Yeah,
sing
good.
song punk music if you want to get down and
dope.
feel sad, but also fucking scream your lungs out.
Hit
You're on
some things.
Spotify?
Hey, how old are you?
On Spotify.
Anyway.
On Spotify.
Old enough to know that I'm up to no good. With the song, the old demo from 4 years ago is gonna be on the record. We re-recorded it. So
Hell yeah.
be ready.
So I do want to clarify too. Jordan's not just a random fan who reached out. He's been our friend
Yeah.
for years.
Yeah.
And
We
he's
friends.
also just a true fan.
A
which
true
is so
homie.
sweet.
A true
Yeah,
A1G.
Yeah, you're gonna come back.
He's
bitch.
merged into the perfect both.
I mean, you can't give us this beautiful Heat poster in a frame, no less.
You
It's
can't be
free.
Martin Scorsese and not come
I was
back.
gonna
on
say,
the
yeah.
pod.
Straight up.
we
gotta
did
get
this for
Scorsese's
you.
take.
I did this for you.
Okay.
We're fucking
sure-
leaving.
I'm
Unlike
Frank.
Jordan.
Yeah, we're fucking leaving.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brand-
And
Brand-
what was the
bye-bye.
joke
Brandon.
you've been doing?
They're your whole bet.
Okay, it's fine.
All right, Marty, and cut.
And action.
And bye-bye.
Cut.
And bye bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
The way to the future.
Way of the future.
Way to the future.
Goodbye.